the football voice for Mutual, and college football along with pro football, and my broadcasting partner here in South Bend, Indiana, Tony Roberts.
Well, we could not have asked for a better day. As Joe Cesada told us, field conditions are excellent. Notre Dame huddled around Coach Dan Devine right now. The Michigan defensive unit or special teams unit on the far side huddle around Coach Bo Schembechler. And as you know, and I think you mentioned it, the fact that Notre Dame has never beaten Michigan here at Notre Dame Stadium. And you mentioned at the top of the broadcast that Michigan sort of taught Notre Dame about the game of football, and they have a big lead in this series, 10 games to 3. But Dan Devine's had excellent results against Big Ten teams while I was at Missouri and here at Notre Dame. So I know the Irish faithful are looking for the first Notre Dame win ever against the Michigan Wolverines here. Both clubs are rated, Notre Dame in the top 10. They're rated number 8 in both the AP and the UPI poll. Michigan number 12 in UPI, number 14 in AP. Michigan sort of a lackluster win last week against Northwestern, 17-10. Notre Dame 2 weeks ago, a resounding victory over the Purdue Boilermakers, 31-10. You just couldn't say enough about Notre Dame's defensive unit that day, and the way the offensive line, inexperienced though it was, fired out. So the Irish are ready for the kickoff here. They'll be moving left-right on your radio dial. They've got 2 men deep. Michigan, of course, will have the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. And kicking off for the Wolverines will be Ali Haji Sheikh. He's a 6'187" sophomore out of Arlington, Texas. Kicked 1 field goal last week and missed another one, a 52-yarder. Had he made that one, it would have been a new Michigan record.
Sheik, incidentally, his dad went to Michigan. He's a walk-on. The young man came with his father to work to watch the team work out before he came to Michigan. They had him kick a few. He kicked so well, believe it or not, Bo signed him up, and that's the way he ended up at Michigan.
Jimmy Stone on the near side, Ty Barber on the far side, standing at the Notre Dame goal line. Ali Haji Sheikh, the run-up, soccer-style kick, sends it high, sends it deep, into the end zone, and out of the end zone. Notre Dame will take over at the 20-yard line.
And very quickly, we'll see what the Irish are going to do now. I would believe, Tony Roberts, it is going to be ball control. That will be their idea, ball control. Northwestern had great success last week, and the Irish now huddling. His quarterback, Mike Curry, brings in the first play from the sideline.
Curry is 6'1", 202 pounds. He's a senior out of Sioux City, Iowa. And he had a superb game against the Purdue Boilermakers. First down and 10 now for the Irish. They're in a stack guy. The ends are in tight. The turnaround to give to the middleman in the stack guy, and it's going to get maybe about 2 yards on the play. Bill Carter, sophomore out of Tacoma, Washington, who had a big day against Purdue, picks up about 2. That'll make it second down and about 8 yards to go for the first down.
The Lazy Boy Chair Company will award a beautiful Lazy Boy chair to the athletic department of the winning school in today's game, and that award will be in the name of the game's winning coach.
Sweeney is also in the backfield for Notre Dame. He's the fullback. Notre Dame with a wide out to the left side, and that's Tony Hunter. The turnaround to give by Curry, and this time Carter finds a little hole. That hole closes very, very quickly as the Michigan defense converges on the ball carrier, and he maybe picked up maybe a yard or so, and that's about it. It was Mike Turkovic, the defensive left end on that 3-4 defensive alignment, who made the tackle on the play. So now Notre Dame is going to be faced with third down and about 7.5 to go for the first down.
Mike Shina had a one-on-one block on Turkovac, and he just couldn't handle this big fella. Mike Turkovac is a good one. Shina is going to have his hands full today.
So Hunter now comes wide to the right. Out to the left is Pete Houlihan. They've got a wingman on the right side, and that's Pete Buchanan. He now moves in motion to the far side of the field. Curry, quick toss. The ball goes to Carter. Off the left side. He's going to get up to about the 25-yard line, and that's it. As the Michigan defense, reacting very quickly, took care of the sweeper on the left side, and the ball is marked squarely at the 25-yard line. And Notre Dame now faced with 4th down and 5 will punt, and we'll get a look at the quarterback Blair Keel, who did the punting last week but did not do any punting in the pregame warm-ups today.
Michigan closing down the running game. They gave the Irish exactly 5 yards. And as you pointed out, Tony, 4th down 5 and the Irish punting.
Keel standing back at the Notre Dame 11-yard line. Anthony Carter, who did it all against Northwestern last week, is the man deep for Michigan. The ball will come upfield. It'll hit at about the 43-yard line. Takes a Michigan bounce, batted away by one of the Notre Dame players, and it'll be down somewhere around the 40-yard line, about a 35-yard kick. So a gain of a yard, second down and 9.
Right off the gun, Bob Crable, the big middle linebacker, and defensive variety, and Scott Zedek are in there too. They're really starting the gang tackling right at the beginning.
Carter comes wide to the left. Alan Mitchell, a senior out of Detroit, is wide right. Back to throw. Hewlett throwing long downfield. It's for Carter. It is deflected away. Good defensive play by the Irish as Carter went straight down the sideline. Tommy Gibbons took him, went with him, and he had some help coming over from Tommy DiCiano. And they knocked the ball away as Wangler went for all the marbles that time. So that'll make it 3rd down and 9 to go with a ball at the Michigan 46-yard line.
Oh, that could have been a bomb. That could have been a real bomb, about 40 yards long. And he put it in the air in a hurry, and it shows that Dan Devine was right when he said, we expect Michigan to pass right off, and they're doing it.
Notre Dame has now put in a couple of more defensive backs. 3rd down and 9 to go. Carter, left side, now in motion to the far side of the field. Long count by Hewlett. Back to throw. Looking. Finds an opening. 40. Gets to the 45. He runs to the 50. And he's going to be just a little bit short of a first down as he got the ball to Notre Dame territory and was tackled at around the Irish 47-yard line. The stop was made by one of the defensive backs inserted for the purpose of pass defending. That's Chris Brown. It's going to be short by about 2 yards. 4th down and 2 to go, and we'll see a Michigan punt.
Indeed we will. And Michigan now in Notre Dame territory. They penetrated just inside of the Irish 48-yard line. We'll see whether the kicking game is up to it or not. A young freshman from Thermopolis, Wyoming, I believe Don Bracken is to kick.
6'1", 185-pounder, standing at the 38-yard line of the Wolverines. Doerson is the deep man for Notre Dame, back at the Irish 10. Sends the ball high. Doerson signals the Bearcats. The ball bounds high, goes into the end zone. It'll be brought out to the 20-yard line, a 48-yard kick. 1st down and 10 for Notre Dame at the 20-yard line. Curry back to throw, rolling to the right, and may run it. Looks, eludes one tackler, gets to the 20, gets up to about the 23-yard line. Curry couldn't find anybody open, decided to come to the right side, eluded one tackler in the backfield, got past the 20, picked up about 3 yards on the play. Robert Thompson, the left side linebacker, was the man who made the stop on the play. But it'll be 2nd down and 7 yards to go for a first down. Curry will not hesitate. If he sees the opening, he'll take off.
Michigan giving you that 5-man front. Actually, they have 2 outside linebackers, Thompson and Mel Owens, who will drop. Nikolai, Caraway, and Triggerback are the 3 interior linemen that will come at you.
Wide left is Hunter. Wingman on the left side is Pete Holohan. Notre Dame in the eye. The wingman Holohan in motion toward the near side. Curry on the rollout to the left side, looking, may run, may throw. He's going to run. He's going to be stopped right around the line of scrimmage. Got up to maybe as far as the 23-yard line, the line of scrimmage. But again, a very quick lateral movement as the Michigan defense strings it out. And it was Paul Gergash, the sophomore linebacker out of Lakewood, Ohio, who made the stop on the play. So now Notre Dame may have lost about a yard. It'll be 3rd down now and 8.
There's something we may see a lot of today, Tony. When they line up, they'll come strong to the right side. They will unbalance, and the Irish were unbalanced on that attempted sweep to the right.
Carter now moves as a wing on the left side. There's one lone setback. Hunter is wide left. Holohan comes out to the right. Michigan showing a 4-man front. 3rd down, 8 yards to go. First quarter, no score. Curry rolling to the right, looking to throw, looking for a block. Gets it, looks, pumps once, cuts across, back against the grain, gets up past the 25 to about the 28-yard line. Again, he could not find anyone open, and this time it was Winifred Caraway, a sophomore out of Detroit, the nose guard, who made the tackle on the play. But Curry's going to be about a yard short of a first down, so Notre Dame now faced with 4th down and 1, and here comes the punting unit.
They're going to have to kick it away. The Irish just can't seem to pick up that big first down after they've started twice at the 20-yard line. They have not been able to cash in, and here's Blair Keel.
He'll field the ball at about the 15-yard line of Notre Dame. Anthony Carter, ever dangerous, back at the Michigan 35. Helmet high snap, and the kick. Sends it high, a boomer. It is deep, drifting under it, calling for the fair catch as Carter makes it at about the 33-yard line, and Michigan puts the ball in play 1st and 10 at their own 33. A 38-yard kick by freshman quarterback Blair Keel.
The Gillette Safety Company will award $500 to the General Scholarship Fund of the school attended by the outstanding player in today's game. The Gillette Company has our broadcasting team to select this, and we'll announce the winner at the conclusion of today's ball game.
The Michigan backfield. Hewlett the quarterback, Stan Edwards at full, Lawrence Ricks is the tailback, starting in place of Woolfolk. Wideouts left and right. Here the turnaround by Hewlett, and it's not going to go anywhere. Found a little bit of an opening. May advance the ball up to about the 34-yard line. But again, that Notre Dame defense with Scott Zedek, the senior defensive right end from Elk Grove, Illinois, leading the charge, stops him on the play. A gain of a yard, 2nd and 9.
A blown play. Hewlett with the snap turned, and believe it or not, his fullback, Stan Edwards, bumped right into him, knocked him down.
8 minutes, 45 seconds left to play. First quarter action, no score. Anthony Carter, a sophomore from Riviera Beach, Florida, wide to the right. Here's the handoff. Goes to the tailback. Rick's trying to go to the outside. Turns the corner at the 35 and runs head-on into a Notre Dame defender at about the 38-yard line. And coming up on the play very quickly to make the stop was Johnny Krim, the junior from Columbus, Ohio, who met him head-on. But not until Rick's picked up about 5 on the play. That'll make it 3rd down now and 4 to go for the Wolverines. They've got the ball at their own 39.
Crable couldn't get there in time, and that was a play that Bob Crable would have to get to the runner on. He didn't do it, and it totally depended on the corner. John Krim, however, did get him on the sidelines.
Michigan center is George Lilja. He's the first man out of the huddle. He's the captain, 6'5", 260-pound senior from Palos Park, Illinois. Waiting to snap it back to Rich Hewlett. High formation. Carter is wide to the left. Turn around. Fake to the fullback. Quarterback keeps it at the 40, at the 45, at the 50, and knocked down at about the Notre Dame 45-yard line as Dave Dorison took Rich Hewlett in the open field, but not until Hewlett got the first down. They'll mark it down at the Notre Dame 45. First down, Michigan.
Beautiful running by Hewlett. He had that fake perfectly timed, spun in there, and he had the daylight to get through. The important thing here is that the Irish close in very quickly on these runners. 16 yards on the play. Now Michigan is moving the football.
Fred Brockington has replaced Alan Mitchell as a wide receiver. Here's a quick toss, short side of the field. The ball going to Ricks. He's on his feet, drives inside the 40, and fights his way down to the Notre Dame 37-yard line. He was finally stopped in the far side of the field by Scott Zedek. Good second effort by Lawrence Ricks. He ran to the short side of the field, the right side. Looked like he was going to be stopped. Leg drive kept him going. He picked up about 8, 2nd down and 2.
Michigan's offensive line is really showing the strength. Murensky, Becker, Lilja, Powers, and Paris. They are big. They average better than 250 pounds a man, and they are commanding the front line right now, Tony.
Mitchell wide left, flank to the right is Carter. Handoff goes to the fullback, Edwards. He pops through, gets inside the 30, and from the 30 down to about the 27-yard line. Again, the Michigan back showing good second effort. He was stopped right around the 30-yard line, advanced it a couple of more yards, and we've got a first down here for the Michigan Wolverines. They'll mark the ball down at the Notre Dame 28-yard line. This drive started at the Michigan 33.
7 minutes, 50 seconds remaining. First period, no score. Notre Dame nothing, and Michigan nothing.
Coming wide left is Carter. John Krim out to the left side, one-on-one. He probably will get some help if there's a pass play. Hewlett, the sophomore out of Plymouth, Indiana. Rather, Plymouth, Michigan. Waiting for the snap, turns around, give to the fullback, Edwards, and he ran right into the waiting arms of one of the Notre Dame defenders right around the 26-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 2 yards, but Scott Zedek was there to make the tackle on the play. An advance of 2. It'll be 2nd down and about 8 yards to go for the first down.
Zedek played the run just right. He took 2 steps across. He waited. He saw who had the football, Stan Edwards. Because believe me, Rich Hewlett is hiding that football. He's doing a beautiful job of ball handling.
Hewlett, 6'1", 197-pound sophomore from Plymouth, Michigan. And he was booed last week in the game against Northwestern. Gerald Ingram now in at fullback. The backs are split for Hewlett. He threw 8 passes, completed 3 2-er for touchdowns to Anthony Carter. Play action. Fake look. There was a busted play, and he sacked back at about the 30-yard line. First he faked to the back going to the right. Then he faked again, turned around. There was a mix-up in the backfield. And by the time they got everything straightened out, he found himself on the seat of his pants back at about the 30. A loss of about 3. That'll make it 3rd down. And around 12 to go for the first down.
And he found that big defensive tackle of the Irish, Pat Kramer, sitting on top of him, the junior from Colton, Washington. He was there, and he was there in a hurry. John Hankett was right along with him. Good defensive play.
Mitchell goes out to the right, and here comes Carter out to the left. He'll be taken by the veteran, Dave Dorison. 3rd down. Play action. Hewlett back to throw, looking to the right side. Pass is deflected. Oh, good play. It was intended for the tight end, Norm Betts. And a diving deflection on the play by Notre Dame defender, DiCiano, who came over with a headlong dive, got his hand on the football, and just when it looked like Betts was going to make the catch, deflected the ball away, and that's going to set up 4th down and a field goal.
And it is going to be something to kick that field goal, too, because there's a crosswind of about 20 miles an hour.
The kick will come from, let's call it the 37-yard line. It'll be a 47-yard boot by Haji Sheikh. The ball will be spotted down at the 37. The kick is up. It has the distance. Does it have direction? It is no good. It was off to the left. There's no score. There's a timeout in the field. Now this.
5 minutes, 54 seconds remaining in the first period here at South Bend, Indiana. The University of Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, they're deadlocked with the University of Michigan, and Michigan has made its strongest penetration. A field goal went astray. The ball is at the 29-yard line of the Fighting Irish, and Notre Dame, 6 running plays is all they've had so far in this first period. This is their third possession. Here they come out of the huddle, and here again is Tony Roberts.
Jimmy Stowe now on the tailback, the senior out of Seattle, Washington, 6'1", 198 pounds. Here's the turnaround to give to Carter. Finds an opening over the middle. 30, 35. Up to the 39-yard line. And there may have been a bubble on the play, but I believe the play was blown dead.
That ball is piled up at the 40-yard line, and I agree with you, Tony. I believe the ball had been blown dead. The officials are still unpiling, though, and we still do not have an indication one way or the other. It's going to be put down right at the 39-yard line. Notre Dame keeps possession. Coming to the sidelines, there is Jim Stone, so there'll be a replacement there in the Irish backfield.
About a 9 2/3 yard scamper by Phil Carter, cutting up the middle, finding the hole, and getting almost a first down. So Notre Dame now lined up with the tight end on the left side, a slot to the right, I formation. Sweeney is in at fullback. Long count by Curry. Turns around, gives that ball to Carter. Again, the opening over the middle. Chargers throw. He's got the first down. Gets up past the 40, up to about the 43-yard line, and Notre Dame registers its first down of the afternoon with 5:01 showing on the clock in the first quarter.
And Phil Carter now beginning to move the football. Remember, last week, Tony, a week before last, 2 weeks ago against Purdue, he rolled up 142 yards. This young man can carry the football.
So it'll be first down and 10 for Notre Dame at their own 43-yard line. This is the furthest the Irish have been upfield. Double tight end. Now they shift. They go to a slot right with Pete Houlihan in the slot. Buchanan now in at fullback for Notre Dame. Houlihan in motion to the far side. Hand off to Buchanan. Buchanan fights up to about the 45. Gets to about the 47. On his first carry last week, he gained good yardage, but he gave up the football. He fumbled, and that stopped the Notre Dame drive. But this time, Buchanan gets about 4, second down and 6.
Canavino coming up there as one of the linebackers. That 5-2 look. Thompson, Nicolau, Caraway now, and at the nose guard. Turgeback and Owens in the front line defensively for Michigan with Canavino and Gergash at the linebackers. Second and 6 for the Irish. Stack guy, handoff left side. Carter fighting past the 50, gets into Michigan territory down to the 48-yard line. It looked as if he were going to be stopped after gaining a couple of yards, but keeping his body low, the leg driving, he got down to about the 49-yard line. He'll be about a yard and a half short of a first down, so Notre Dame now moving. Carter, one of the big plays for Carter last week, or 2 weeks ago, Al, was the fact that Notre Dame was able to run off that left side, and Carter got good yardage consistently. They've been trying to run him off the strong side against Turgeback and Owens, and that is doubly tough to block those two lads. Double tight end, flanker to the right, that's Houlihan. From the eye, Curry turns around, play act, no, did fake the ball to Carter, kept it himself, but he may have the first down. It'll be very close. All depends on where they spot the ball. I think they're going to mark it down right at the Michigan 47, and if they do, he may be just a bit short of a first down, and Notre Dame may come up with the third down here in inches. It's so close, they're going to call for the first measurement of the afternoon. You know, I think right at this moment, while we've got a second, we might mention the fact that the officials in today's ball game, the referee is Gene Calhoun, the head linesman is Robert Walker, the field judge is Otto Pulls, the umpire is Frank Strocia, the line judge is Ed Marichik, and the back judge is Mike Nevin. First down by inches. Tip of the football past the chain, so we've got a first down here for Notre Dame. They'll mark it at the 47-yard line. And Buchanan, the 6'3", 220-pound sophomore from Plymouth, Indiana, has come in from the sidelines with a play for Mike Curry. Michigan, if you'll note, Michigan slants their defensive line towards the strength of the offense. They pinch the tackles in, and you simply, when you go at these fellas, you got to stay with your block. You got to hit them and stick with them to be able to give those running backs a chance. Michigan showing a 4-man front with 4 linebackers. Houlihan in motion near side. Quick toss right side. Carter 50, and he is upended. Good defensive play by Mel Owens, the left side linebacker. He's 6'2", 230 pounds, a senior from DeKalb, Illinois. Knifed in there, upended Carter. Carter got maybe a yard on the play, and headlong flight down to the 46-yard line. It'll be second down and 9. Notre Dame at the Michigan 46. Incidentally, talking about the Michigan defense, they do not wait for things to happen. They do not stand pat. You won't see them move across the line a yard or two and stop. You see them trying to force a turnover, make the offense make a mistake, and give up the ball.
Third down, make that second down and 9 yards to go. Will Curry throw his first pass with 2nd and 9. Houlihan in motion to the far side. Curry, play action, back to throw, looks up over the middle, pass is caught by Mastak, the tight end, at the 40, and he goes out of bounds, skidding out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 39-yard line. He'll be 2 yards short of a first down. Dean Mastak, for the first pass completion of the afternoon, 6'4", 227-pound junior from Toledo, Ohio. Notre Dame now faced with 3rd and 2.
Big Dean, he caught 2 for 49 yards against Purdue. Last year, he caught 28 passes for 428 yards. He was one of the crack receivers last year, and the big man is one of the better blocking tight ends to boot.
Curry last week hit 10 out of 13, 151 yards, and 1 touchdown. He has now hit 11 out of 14. Hand up over the middle. Carter, big opening. He's got the first down. He charged out to the Michigan 34-yard line, was shoved all the way back to the 40, but he'll get the forward progress, and it's a first down. And Carter brings the ball down to the Michigan 34. We pause briefly for station identification. This is Mutual, your News and Sports Radio Network.
All right, the Irish are back offensively, and once again, Tony.
Wide left is Houlihan. On the line of scrimmage, wide receiver right is Hunter. I formation. Bill Carter deep. Handoff goes to Sweeney. Finds a little hole. Squeezes through. Gets it down to the 31-yard line. Picked up a couple on the play. Started left. Saw an opening to the right side. Winifred Carraway, the sophomore nose guard from Detroit, made the tackle. But a gain of a couple. 2nd down and about 7 to go, 8 to go for the first down for Notre Dame at the Michigan 31.
That's a key position now in that Michigan front 5 there. Kelsey was originally going to be the nose guard, and Mike Turkovac, who played nose guard for the last 2 years, moved over to play the tackle. So they got a spot there that's a big question mark.
Notre Dame has gained about 50 yards in this drive, which started back at the 20-yard line. 55 seconds to go, handoff Carter, not much running room, gets stacked up as he got inside the 30, then got straightened up and pulled over at about the 29-yard line. He'll still be a good 5.5, 6 yards short of a first down. So give him a couple of 3 on the play. Again, Turkovic from the left side, the senior out of Austintown, Ohio, making the tackle. So now it's 3rd down. Let's call it 6 for Notre Dame at the 29-yard line of Michigan.
Big Mike Turkovac read that one beautifully. It was a tackle trap play, and he did not play it. He just would not come in, and he wouldn't be blocked out.
Ends tight, left and right. Mastak left, Hunter right. Hand off Carter off the left side, finds an opening inside the 25, down to the 22, got a first down. That play worked as it did against Purdue for big yardage. And it's a first down for Notre Dame. The ball at the 22-yard line of Michigan. Time running out in the first quarter. 10 seconds remaining. Carter's carried the ball 10 times for 40 yards. They're not going to get another playoff. That's the end of the first quarter with a score. Notre Dame nothing, Michigan nothing. Now this for Budweiser and True Value Hardware.
Notre Dame nothing, Michigan nothing. 15 minutes more play coming up here in the second quarter. And it's been a ball game in which both Michigan and Notre Dame have held on to ball possession. They have wanted to control the football, and they have tried. There have been 4 passes thrown. 3 by Notre Dame, 1 completion for the Irish, 1 by Michigan, 1 completion there. So checking it off quickly, Notre Dame 63 yards offensively, Michigan 46 yards. 4 first downs for the Irish, 2 for the University of Michigan. Rushing 56 yards for Notre Dame, 7 yards passing for Michigan, 38 yards on the ground, 8 yards through the air. Notre Dame up to the line of scrimmage, and once again, Tony Roberts.
For the Irish in the backfield, Carter is the tailback standing at the 30-yard line. Houlihan in motion now, backtracks, goes to the other side, sweep to the right side, cutting in Carter, charges down to the 20-yard line before being snapped. So he picked up about 2 or 3 yards on the first down, off tackle smash on the right side. That'll make it 2nd down and 8 yards to go for Notre Dame. That was the 12th play in this drive, which began midway late in the first quarter, started back at the Notre Dame 20-yard line, and has now reached the Michigan 21.
You had 6 men on the sweep in front there as Gagne pulled out and Houlihan went to the right, the whole right side blocking up there to give him yardage.
Hunter is wide to the right. Houlihan is out to the left. From the eye, Curry. The senior quarterback out of Sioux City, Iowa, gets the snap. Looking, throwing. Pass deflected away. Good defensive play by the defensive left end. That was Dave Nicolau, the 6'5", 240-pound senior out of Elk Grove Village, Illinois. With a right hand, swatted the ball, knocked the ball away. It looked for a moment like Notre Dame was going to get a very key reception around the 15-yard line or so. So Notre Dame now, on third down conversions, we have 3rd and 8 here, 3 out of 5.
Stone is in there in the backfield now, and along with him at fullback is John Sweeney.
Out to the right is Hunter. Wide left is Houlihan. Looking, throwing, slant and pass caught. First down at the 10-yard line. A slant into Tony Hunter, knifing right in between the defender and the linebacker. Caught the ball. Marion Body made the tackle on the play. First down, goal to go. Notre Dame at the Michigan 10.
And that's the beginning of what I think will be a lot of bread and butter plays. Remember, we have Notre Dame has 3 great receivers that average 6'4 and a half, and they're going against defensive backs that average 5'11. 11 yards on the play, right on the 10-yard line, Tony. The Irish are knocking on the door.
Notre Dame pulled its fullback. Sweeney is out, and Jimmy Stone is now in the tailback. And Carter is the front man. He's the fullback now in the eye. Turn around, give to Carter. Carter off the right side. Penalty marker on the play. Gets hit, gets knocked down at about the 6-yard line. Looked for a moment like you might dance into the end zone. Got upended at the 6. There was a penalty marker on the play, however. And that would be the first penalty of the game. It comes at 13:49 of the second quarter.
Against Michigan, offsides, and it means, well, we'll find out in a moment when Scully talks to the official down there, but I think they'll take the 5 yards and have 1st and 5 from the 5-yard line, Tony.
Well, coming into the game now, Mark Fisher, a tight end, 6'4", 220-pound sophomore out of Massillon, Ohio. Sweeney's coming back in at fullback, and Rob McGarry, who carried the ball once last weekend on the sweep right and scored a touchdown, is now in the game. McGarry is listed on the Notre Dame roster as a tight end. 6'4", 206-pound sophomore from Stillwater, Minnesota. Stack eye for the Irish. Turn around. Give Carter. Big pile up at the 5-yard line. Penalty markers everywhere. No running room at all as the Michigan left side just would not let Notre Dame through. And Carter is stacked up at the 5-yard line.
That's against the Irish. It's going to be a step off against them, and I did not see the signal on the play. But the Irish are moving back, so apparently it's going to be 5 yards. Bring it back out to the 10-yard line. And again, we'll start all over with first down. No score in the ball game. 13:36 remaining. Second period here at South Bend, the University of Michigan and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. A battle of truly 2 of the great football teams in the Midwest and in this country.
Illegal procedure to call against Notre Dame. Andy Cannavino said walk it off, and they did back to the 10-yard line. So now Notre Dame again faced with the original first down and goal to go at the 10. Carter deep at tailback. Notre Dame with a double tight end. Stack eye. Long count. Curry now sends McGarry in motion. Toss to Carter. Short side sweep. He's inside the 10 and hustled out of bounds at about the 6. And the man who came over to make the hit on the play was Andy Cannavino, and he came into the game as Michigan's leading tackler. He had something like 18 last week, 9 assists, 27 for the game against Northwestern.
The Irish with a full power sweep to the right-hand side, and of course with the tight end there, McGarry in the backfield. Instead of a tight end switching into the backfield there, he was the 6th man in that sweep to the right. The Irish had plenty of blocking up there, and they grind out 4 yards.
McGarry lines up as the front man in that 3-man stack guy and leads the blockers. Now he's in motion to the left. Here's the handoff. Carter off the left side for that touchdown. 71 yards for Notre Dame, 16 plays. As Carter goes in from the 6-yard line, and Notre Dame is on the board 6-0.
71 yards and 16 plays, and what was that we said about ball control? You can't call that anything but ball control. They mix it up very seldom with the pass. They don't have to go to the pass unless they need it in desperation, but they certainly have the targets to throw to. A key throw was to Big Dean Mastak. Here's the point after try coming.
Harry Oliver, the left-footed soccer-style kicker, will try to put it through the upright. Spotted down by Cagle. It's up, and it is good. There's a timeout with a score. Notre Dame 7, Michigan nothing.
13 minutes, 5 seconds. Plenty of football coming your way over Mutual and across the country. Al Wester, along with Tony Roberts and our mutual crews, we bring you the big one for the day, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and the University of Michigan. And Tony, the Irish looked impressive, controlling the football and moving for the score.
And again, you've got Carter going off for a big yardage off that weak side as he did 2 weeks ago against Purdue. Can't get used to these weeks off, Val. We're going to do it again next week because we've got a game between Stanford and Oklahoma at Norman, Oklahoma. Anyway, that play worked for big yardage a couple of weeks ago, and it's done wonders for Carter again today. He's just been a superb back for Notre Dame, and in time may make him forget Vegas Ferguson. In time.
Well, I'll say this. He certainly is a blazing speedster. He's got that fantastic quickness. He gets out of the block so fast, the linemen do not have an opportunity to compensate. Johnson is going to kick off.
All right, it'll be Stan Edwards down around the 5-yard line, and Anthony Carter, who had a good return game against Northwestern, kickoffs and punts, down around the goal line. And we're going to get a look at Mike Johnson, 5'11", 175 sophomore from Rochester, New York, taking over the kickoff duties from the injured Steve Sitchie. The kick is high. It is deep. Carter drifting back to the end zone. Makes the grab about 8 yards deep and says, we'll take it at the 20.
Very wise decision. He was a good 7-8 yards, as you said, deep in that end zone. And to bring it out, he would have wasted time. And just to get it back to the 20-yard line, he would have been quite lucky. The young man is a great speedster, great shifty runner. But the Irish kickoff team has had a lot of success. Their special teams work very hard, and they've done a good job. First down for the University of Michigan at the 20-yard line.
7-0 Notre Dame on a 71-yard, 16-play drive with Phil Carter coming off the left side for the last 6 yards and a Notre Dame score. Anthony Carter, wide left for Michigan. Hewlett, the quarterback, the sophomore from Plymouth, turns around, fakes to the fullback, eludes a tackler at the 20, and then gets wrapped up by Crable at the 21-yard line. Did a good job of faking, but Crable, the middle linebacker, was there to make the hit. And the advance is maybe a yard and a half at the very most. That'll make it second down. Let's call it a long 8 for the Wolverines from the 22.
Fine penetration by the Notre Dame defensive left end, John Hankard, the big senior from Jackson, Michigan. He came across the line. He was not fooled by Hewlett on the play. Wrapped around him, and Hewlett managed to wiggle free.
Hewlett's carried the ball 5 times for 22 yards. He deploys Anthony Carter left. Turns around, give to the fullback up the middle, and he gets the tailback up to about the 24. A pickup of maybe 3 on the play. And so Michigan now faced with third down and about 6 yards to go. Again, Don Kidd, senior tackle from Cincinnati, Ohio, makes the stop. Johnny Krim is coming out. Joe Radzinski, a linebacker, has come out. Gibbons stays in, along with Dorson. Chris Brown is in, along with Rod Bone. So they are the defensive backs for Notre Dame now, with Michigan facing third down, about 5.5 to go. Rick's the tailback. Anthony Carter, wide left. Whoever covers him will get help. Long count by Hewlett. Gets the snap, and there might have been a miscue there because nobody moved on the snap count, and the tackle was made very quickly by the linebacker. After he picked up maybe a yard or two, and that's going to make it fourth down, and about 4 yards to go for a first down. And Bo Schembechler's not going to be at all happy about that play.
Well, I'll tell you one thing he shouldn't, because Lawrence Ricks was out of the blocks. He'd taken a full stride before the ball was ever snapped, and there wasn't a flag thrown on it. None of the officials caught it.
Don Bracken, the freshman out of Thermopolis, Wyoming, standing at the Michigan 12-yard line. Dorson for Notre Dame at the Irish 35. The snap, the kick, gets it off. Upfield, Dorson's going to take it on the run at the 45, gets hit, knocked down at the 49. Corey going to throw down the sideline, intended for Hunter, can't get it. Pass was broken up by Marion Buddy, who did a good job at the 20-yard line of getting a hand in there. Buddy is 5'10", 182-pound junior out of Detroit. Tony Hunter is 6'5", 211, a sophomore from Cincinnati, Ohio. So Hunter obviously had the height advantage, but there's a penalty marker back at the line of scrimmage, or in the backfield anyway, at the 45-yard line.
And they're talking to the Michigan captain, so apparently it is going to be against the Irish. They're discussing now what to do about that. Hunter had the distinct advantage there on Marion Body, and Body really controlled Hunter and got to the football at the last instant. This is something that the defensive umbrella of Michigan is going to have trouble on all day long, because they have shorter defensive men and they're going against bigger men in Hunter, Mastak, and Holohan.
Holding call against Notre Dame. That'll make it first down now, and 17 yards to go. First and 17. Give to Carter off the right side, and Carter's not going to go anywhere. He was wrapped up very quickly by the left inside linebacker, Paul Gergash, a sophomore out of Lakewood, Ohio. Got the ball up to about the 41-yard line. Second down, and maybe lost about a yard in the play. Let's call it second and about 18 for the first down.
Who started on the Notre Dame National Championship team in 1943.
So they lost a couple on the play, make it second down, and let's call it 20 yards to go. Curry, play action, looking, rolling to the left, throwing on the run, pass caught. Great reception by Tony Hunter. Hunter right in between two defenders. Really great concentration. Heard the footstep, but concentrated on catching the ball and did so, and pulled it in at the 43-yard line of Michigan. It'll be very close to a first down, maybe short by a couple of yards. Picked up about 18 on the play. Third down and 2 for Notre Dame at the Michigan 43.
And Hunter will have been gone all the way had it not been for number 43, the junior strong safety, Jeff Reeves from Columbus, Ohio, who did trip him up.
Houlihan is out to the right. Double tight end for Notre Dame. Carter the tailback. Third down and 2. Houlihan in motion now to the near side of the field. Turn around, give Carter, hold and guard up at the 40 down to the 35, a first down. Again, he was upended by Mel Owens, the linebacker, and wrapped up by Cantavino, but Reeves at about the 35-yard line. So Notre Dame on third down conversions, 5 of 7.
Larry Kistner is in there at center right now, snapping for the Irish. He is the backup man for John Scully, the junior from Delray Beach, Florida.
Kistner goes 6'4", 235. Snaps the ball to Curry. Curry on the handoff to the fullback, Sweeney. Inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. Powering over the middle, picking up about 5 yards on the play. So it's going to be second down. And a pickup more than 5, about 6 or 7. Second down, about 3.5 to go for the first down. The ball at the 29-yard line of the Michigan Wolverines. Notre Dame, 22 carries, 80 yards on the ground. Houlihan is flanked to the right. Double tight end, Mastak right, Tony Hunter on the left side. From the I formation, handoff, Carter off the right side, blasting over, hit by Cantavino as he squeezes through the hole, gets the ball down to right around the 26 or 27-yard line. It'll still be short of a first down. Third down and just about 1.5 yards to go for the first.
You know, the amazing thing, Tony, is that they're running right at the strength of that defensive line, at Turgeback and at Paul Gergash. Right at it, and they're managing to get yardage. The Irish are blocking up in front there.
8 minutes, 10 seconds left to go in the first half. Notre Dame leading by a score of 7-0 on a Phil Carter 6-yard jaunt into the end zone. From the eye, handoff, Carter up over the middle, finds a hole down to the 20-yard line, a first down. He was hit again by Jeff Reeves. Reeves, the junior strong safety out of Columbus, Ohio, has made about 3 straight tackles now, but it's a first down as Carter blasts onto the 20, and Notre Dame on the move again.
And some great blocking by tackle Phil Pozderak and by guard Randy Ellis. Both of them just blasted straight forward. This offensive line, which is really not a veteran line, it's a bunch of youngsters there that are playing football and playing well together for the Irish, surprisingly well.
Phil Carter getting a breather. He's been replaced by Jim Stone at tailback. Houlihan in motion from the flanker position, left side, handoff to the fullback, and stumbling right around the line of scrimmage was Sweeney, and he just can't go anywhere. Sweeney or Buchanan. Pete wears 35, and that's who it was. He replaced Sweeney on the play, so that'll make it second down and 10 to go from the 20-yard line. Now Sweeney comes into the game. Buchanan comes out. Buchanan, a superb blocker.
Pete Grogan is in there at one of the tackles. Pozderak remains at a tackle. Thayer is in there, and Ellis is in at the other guard. So really, along with Kistner as a snapper, you've got the second string offensive line in there, almost 4 of the 5 starters.
Second down, 10 to go for Notre Dame at the Michigan 20. Curry, back to throw, looks, fires the ball, pass caught at about the 12-yard line. Reaching high and pulling the ball into his body was Tony Hunter, or was it Dean Mastak? Mastak made the grab. That's the second reception, and he's knocked down by Jeff Reeves at the 12-yard line, but that'll make it third down. Still about 2.5, 3 to go for the first down.
There's a perfect example, Tony, what I said about the difference in matchup on heights. There was Tony Hunter now, turning and getting the inside step there, 6'5", running against Jeff Reeves, who is 6'1". He had a distinct advantage. He made the catch.
Third down, about 2.5 to go. Notre Dame at the Michigan 12. Houlihan in motion near side. Right out to the right. Handoff Carter. Trying to get some running room. Finds the hole. Puts his head down. Chargers throw inside the 10 down to about the 9-yard line. And Notre Dame's got a first down. They'll mark it at the 10. First down and goal to go Irish at the Michigan 10. They have converted 7 of 9 third down situations.
Once again, we tell you the Gillette Company and Mutual Radio is awarding $1,000 to the University of Notre Dame General Scholarship Fund in the name of former All-American halfback Creighton Miller, who started with the Irish National Championship team of 1943.
Hunter wide right. Houlihan wing right, now in motion near side. From the eye, quick toss, left side, Carter loads one tackler, gets back to the line of scrimmage. Mel Owens, the linebacker, was knifing in, made the initial contact, just held on, would not let go, and Phil Carter just couldn't go anywhere but back to the line of scrimmage. The play failed to develop. That'll make it second down, goal to go, Notre Dame at the 10-yard line.
Fullback Pete Buchanan missed his block. It was his block. He had to take Mel Owens. And with Owens crossing from that position, all he had to do was take him out. He really didn't have to put a heavy block on him. Right now, 70 yards in 19 plays.
Hunter goes wide to the right. Slot to the right side. We've got Houlihan. The tight end Mastack is left, and Curry looks over the Michigan defensive alignment, and he wants a timeout. He's going to talk it over. So there's a timeout with a score, Notre Dame 7, Michigan nothing.
With 5 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first half, and the Irish leading 7-0. Notre Dame has the ball at the Michigan 10-yard line. And talk about ball possession, we'll give a listen to the total number of plays both clubs have run so far. The Irish have had 32 offensive plays. Michigan has had only 14, Tony.
Notre Dame dominating the action since midway in the first quarter. Second down, goal to go at the 10-yard line. Deployed as a flanker to the right side, Houlihan. He'll go one-on-one against the defensive back. Double tight end. Here's Curry on the run, looking, throwing pass. Houlihan, touchdown! 10 yards. Houlihan getting away from the quarterback, Brian Carpenter, current out to the sideline. 51 yards, 11 plays. Notre Dame leads it 13-0.
Brian Carpenter again, a 5'11" defensive back trying to go against a 6'5" wideout. And Houlihan with great speed right down there on Brian Carpenter, who is very, very quick, an excellent football player, but he has that disadvantage of that 6-inch reach. And the height is going to be a great deal, well, it's going to have a great deal to do on how many touchdowns is scored in this football game, because the Irish just have the Michigan Wolverines outmanned.
Harry Oliver will try with a point after touchdown. 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Kick down up, it's good. So with a score, Notre Dame 14, Michigan nothing. A timeout in the field. Now this for Gillette Foaming and Ace Hardware.
In the first half, the Irish lead at 14-0 as Curry moves them for the second touchdown. 5 of 6 completions, 51 yards and a TD. And we're ready for the kickoff. And once again, Tony Roberts.
Touchdown pass by Curry, his second this year. Notre Dame by 14, 5 minutes left. The run-up and the kick by Johnston. It'll come high down to about the goal line. Anthony Carter's got up the middle at the 5, cut to the 10, at the right at the 15, the 20, 25, at the 30. And a great open field tackle by Dorson at the 30-yard line. Anthony Carter with a 30-yard return last week against Northwestern. He fielded 2 kickoffs, returned those for 60 yards, and also a couple of punt returns for 32.
What a beautiful afternoon for football here in South Bend, Indiana. The battle between Michigan and Notre Dame, and the Irish with 4:53 remaining in the half, lead by a score of 14-0. An injured player down on the field, and we've got a new quarterback that has come onto the field for the University of Michigan. Is offensively, they'll put it into play at their 31.5-yard line with first down coming up. Garrity is the injured player from Michigan. John Wangler is the quarterback. He is the senior quarterback from Royal Oak, Michigan. He is a better passer, they tell me, than Rich Hewlett. Hewlett is the runner. But he had knee surgery in the off-season, and I am told, Tony, that he has been limping, that he was limping actually in playing about 25% of the time against Northwestern a week ago.
Hewlett was booed as he quarterback for Michigan against Northwestern. He threw the ball 8 times, completed 3 2-over for touchdowns to Anthony Carter, and the young man said it really didn't bother him, but you have to wonder because everybody wanted Wangler in the game.
Indeed they did. He's just not physically anywhere close to even 90%, they say, but still he can throw the football.
Notre Dame will now go, of course, into its prevent defense as the Irish insert Chris Brown in the game. They pull linebacker Rosinski, and they've also pulled John Prim. All right, Wangler, the quarterback. He's a senior out of Royal Oak, Michigan, waiting for the snap from George Lilja. Gets it, gives it to the tailback, Riggs. Oh, he was hit. There was an opening there, and Bobby Crable came in, and he popped him and knocked him back about 3 yards. What a shot by Crable. Mark Devagnan, the left side linebacker, was also in on the tackle. A gain of a yard, 2nd and 9.
What a great reaction there by Bob Crable. Instantly, he was in motion as he diagnosed the play, came right to it. You know, this big fella is just a junior. He has another year. He is a tri-captain of the Irish. He is the key to the Notre Dame defense. Middle linebacker Bob Crable.
4:15 to go. Second period, Notre Dame 14-0. Anthony Carter wide to the left. Mitchell out to the right side. I formation. Edwards the fullback. Here's Wangler, play action, looking to throw, pumps once, throws, pass. Was it caught? If it was a grab by Norm Betts at about the 42-yard line. Crable was there, made a dive for the ball, couldn't get a hand on it. It'll be short of a first down by maybe a foot or so, right around the 41.5-yard line. They're going to call for a measurement here.
That's a breadbasket kind of catch that you make. It's impossible to defend against those, Tony. They're down low enough, just above the knees, but down where you got to dig, and you know you can't go for any other yardage, so you concentrate on catching it right in the basket and holding on to it. DiCiotto came over. He made a stab at trying to get to it, and of course, Crable took the drop from middle linebacker, went back, and almost got his hands on it.
Inches short of a first down. Betts will come in from the far side. No, it won't be Betts either. It'll be Craig Dunaway, another tight end, a sophomore out of Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania. He's got to play. So with 3:56 to go, Michigan more concerned about getting that first down. They pull their wide receivers, Allen Mitchell and Anthony Carter, and go with a beef up front. Double tight end, wingman on the right side. Wangler turn around, give to the fullback Edwards. He squeezes through a hole at right guard, gets the ball up to the 45-yard line at a first down, and that's Michigan's third first down of the game. So the Wolverines dominated at the line of scrimmage offensively and defensively, come up with their third first down. Clock stops, 3:41 to go. The ball will be marked right around the 40-yard line of the Wolverine, make that the 45-yard line. Now Carter is back in. He's a wide out to the right. Mitchell, the senior out of Detroit, a wide receiver, is out to the left. Here's Wangler, gives the ball again to the tailback, Rick 50, at the 45, open field. He's at the 40, and he's down to the 30-yard line, fights down to the 26-yard line. He was finally tackled on a play by Rod Bone, the sophomore from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Bursting up the middle, Lawrence Ricks, a sophomore from Barberton, Ohio, quick as a flash, into the open field, eluded a Notre Dame defender, and got it down to the Irish 26 for a 28-yard scamper.
He had 59 yards that he raced for in 7 plays against Northwestern in the rain a week ago, and Lawrence Wicks has all of the great elusive speed that a really good running back needs. He just showed it to us a moment ago.
Now the Wolverines threaten as they reach the Irish 26-yard line with 3:05 showing on the clock. Wangler handoff to the fullback. No, sir. Not much room. Pass caught. He's got it at the 10. First down, goal to go at the 8. Dorson made the hit. Rod Bone was there. Notre Dame just a split second late, trying to get the interception, and great concentration by Anthony Carter.
And a great pass by Wangler. He found the seam, and there was just a little bit of daylight for him to throw to. He does fire with authority. That was a great pass right on the button.
So it's first down, goal to go, Michigan at the Notre Dame 8-yard line. Backs are split. Turn around, play action. Wangler looking, throwing passes. Ricks at the 5 in for a touchdown. Lawrence Ricks swinging out of the backfield, took the ball on the run at the 5-yard line, and Michigan's on the board, and it's now 14-6.
Lawrence Ricks there, racing, rolling out to the right-hand side. Looked like the safety valve man, but he was the original and intended receiver. Wrangler taking the drop, looked to his right, found his man very quickly, put the ball right on the button. 68 yards and 8 plays for the touchdown for Michigan.
Rich Hillett will spot the ball down at the 10. It's down, it is up, and it is good. We'll have more after this special 30-second message.
Notre Dame now will be receiving the kickoff with 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining. The Irish out in front just seconds ago, 14-0. Now see Michigan come moving back strongly, and 8 plays to go into the end zone and make it a 14-7 ball game. This could be a dipsy-doodle. We should see the ball. We could see this football game could produce scores that will go up and down all afternoon. The Irish are going to score. I've got to believe it, and certainly Michigan has indicated they can, Tony.
We've got Barber on the near side, and on the far side, Jimmy Stone. Wangler hit 3 out of 4 this afternoon, 33 yards. Kick is high, it is deep, and Stone at the goal line. He's at the 5, at the 10, to the left side, gets to the 15, and breaks out to the 20-yard line, maybe up to the 21.
Marion Body was the man who finally got him there. Losing his footing there, Stone at about the 15 fell forward for those extra 5 or 6 yards. So the ball is going to be right just over the 20-yard line, Tony, and the Irish have about a minute and 45 seconds to be in business.
First down and 10. They'll mark it at the 21-yard line. Notre Dame 14, Michigan 7, 1:45 remaining. Sunny afternoon now at Notre Dame Stadium, 59,075. Another shutout. Wide left is Hunter, out to the right, Houlihan. Curry, the quarterback. From the eye. Gets the snap. Play action, looking, throwing down the left side, intended for Hunter. Can't get it. It is overthrown into the Notre Dame bench. Hunter had the free safety. Keith Bostic beaten on the play. Bostic is 6'1", 196-pound sophomore from Ann Arbor, Michigan. And Hunter had a couple of steps on him, but Curry could not put the ball on the money.
Marion Body was the first man to pick him up, and he went right on past Body, and it was going to be Bostic's man. Bostic would have had to put the coverage on.
Houlihan flank to the right. Hunter comes wide out to the left again. Wing on the left side for the Irish. Michigan showing a 3-man front. Curry gets the snap back to throw, has the time, looks, lofts the ball downfield, intended for Carter, intercepted. Body at the 45, at the 40, at the 35, down the sideline, 30 and out of bounds at the Notre Dame 27-yard line. So Curry lofted a rainbow. It was nowhere near the intended receiver. Hunter and Body stepped in, picked it off, and all of a sudden, Michigan, with a minute and 30 seconds remaining, is at the Notre Dame 27-yard line, 1st and 10.
No doubt about it, Mike Curry hung the crepe there. He laid it up there too high. That is the first turnover in the ball game, and the Irish now are going to have to go on defense with the ball at their 27-yard line. They lead 14-7. There's a minute and a half left to go, and Michigan, with a big break now, has a chance to tie this ball game up before the half.
The tide and the momentum is turned here. Wide to the left, Anthony Carter. Out to the right is Alan Mitchell. John Wangler, who sparked Michigan's touchdown drive a moment ago, can get the Wolverines even. Back to throw. Play action, have the time, fires. It is incomplete. It was intended for the tight end, Norm Betts. And Betts had about 3 steps on the left side linebacker, Mark Savagnin. But Wangler could not put the ball in the hands of the receiver. It was too high, too long. 2nd down and 10 at the 27.
The Irish tried something then that you're not going to see them try very often, Tony. They sent the strong safety on the blitz, the safety blitz. They had DeCiato in the backfield with one arm that hit the hip of the quarterback, and he missed him.
Carter wide to the left, and Brockington replacing Mitchell is out to the right. From the eye, turnaround, give to the fullback. Up the middle he goes. It's Edwards down to the 26-yard line. That's about as far as he's going to go. So Bagnan, the left side linebacker, makes the tackle on the play. It'll be a gain of about 5. The Michigan Wolverines have most assuredly owned the last 5 minutes of this football game that's been played. 6 minutes ago, they were trailing Notre Dame 14-0. Then Michigan moved offensively through the air. They got the touchdown to make it 14-7. Now, with an interception, they have the ball at the Notre Dame 21-yard line with a 3rd down. A big 3rd down play coming up, and 3rd down conversions have not favored Michigan this afternoon, actually. Michigan has, they've cashed in on 3 out of 6, while the Irish have had tremendous success cashing in on 7 out of 9 3rd down conversions. The interception by Body was the 3rd for Michigan in 2 games. 14-7, Notre Dame, a minute 17 to go. 3rd down and 5 for the Wolverines at the Notre Dame 21-yard line. Wangler, the quarterback. Woolfolk in the tail now. Wangler firing over the middle. Pass too long out of the end zone. It was intended for Anthony Carter, who was running to the post. That's going to make it 4th down and 5 yards to go from the 21-yard line.
Both Bone and Gibbons were back there. They were putting double coverage on Anthony Carter, and I can't imagine what Wangler was thinking about, because he put that one in the post office boxes down there. He really stuffed that one about 15 yards beyond anybody's grasp, but maybe he realized that his man had the double coverage on. There was no way to force it in there to him, so the best thing to do was throw it away.
Went for the big play man when he had Woolfolk coming out of the backfield, right up over the middle, wide open, but didn't see him. It'll be a 38-yard boot. The kick, no, fake. It's Rich Otis looking, throwing the pass. It is caught down to the 10-yard line. 1st down goal to go. It's caught by Stan Edwards. A fake field goal. Hewlett rolling out to the left. Found Edwards coming out of the backfield and got him on a looping pass out at the 10-yard line. Michigan first down, goal to go. Length of the football inside the 10.
Haji Sheik was back to kick all right, and Hewlett was there to hold. But the minute the ball was snapped, you knew something was wrong because Hewlett came right out of his stance, rolled to the left-hand side, looked, completed his forward pass. All he needed was the yardage for the first down.
Seconds ticking away, 45 on the clock. As Michigan lines up, first down, goal to go, just inside the 10. Wangler's got Carter in motion to the near side. Long count, seconds tick away. Looking to throw, pass, caught, touchdown, Norm Betts. Norm Betts, the tight end, made the grab for the score. 10-yard touchdown pass from Wangler to Betts. And we're going to have ourselves a brand new ball game if Haji Sheik converts the point after.
Tommy Gibbons was the man that had to defend against Betts, and Betts, the big 6'5" tight end from Midland, Michigan, was right there. He just crossed over, cut to his left, went right down into the corner pocket. He made the grab there, but Gibbons was a good 2 steps away from him.
31 seconds left to go, and Haji Sheik now can tie it up. It'll be Hewlett to spot it down. It's down, it's up, and it is cut. So with 31 seconds to go, the score tied at 14. We'll have more after this.
All right, Tony, I would almost say don't give up. The action is going to come blazing yet. We have 31 seconds left in the first half. Don't go away and think halftime has arrived. 14-14. I can remember, Tony, 2 years ago when this very same ball game was played here, and at halftime, it was 14-14. Michigan had the better offense in the second half and won it.
Johnny Wangler has thrown the ball 7 times, completed 4, 2 for touchdowns, kick high deep. It's about 9 yards in the end zone, and Jimmy Stone said we'll take it out at the 20-yard line. So Notre Dame will have the ball, first and 10 at the 20. 31 seconds remaining. The game tied at 14 about 5 minutes ago. It was 14-0 Notre Dame.
Amazing how the momentum changed. Michigan seemed to catch fire, and they certainly did that when they sent quarterback John Wangler in there. 2 touchdowns they scored in exactly 1 minute and 19 seconds.
31 seconds left. Curry has Hunter wide to the left and Houlihan out to the right. Backs are split. Gets the snap. He's going to put it up. Looking, throwing long down the left side. Is going to be intercepted by Body. Body makes the interception at about the 39-yard line of Michigan. That play used up 7 seconds. Michigan has 2 timeouts remaining. The Wolverines will have the ball first down and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
And for the young man from Detroit, Marion Body, the young junior, that is his second interception in a matter of about 3 minutes. Marion Body pulls it down, and again, Michigan with 24 seconds left to go. Did I say don't go away? Well, that prediction is certainly coming true. There's plenty of action here yet to go before halftime.
Wangler, the senior out of Royal Oak, Michigan. 4 out of 7 this afternoon, 2 touchdowns. Kenny Gear is wide to the left. Here's the handoff. The ball goes to Edwards, the fullback. He's hit by Crable as he finds an opening up the middle at the 40-yard line. And the clock continues to run. It's down to 15 seconds. An advance on the play of a couple of yards. It'll make it second down and 8. Michigan probably, let's see, they're going to call a timeout. They will.
I thought that the Wolverines would want to go in. Just forget it now. We got a 14-14 tie. We've got everything going for us. Let's go in and take the halftime break. But apparently they're going to look for another play.
Well, Wangler on the sideline talking to Bo Schembechler, and I wonder why they ran the ball if they were going to call a timeout. The clock has run down to 10 seconds. Now, what kind of strategy do they have here? Unless they put up a Hail Mary. But then again, how can you get a Hail Mary in Notre Dame Stadium? How can you get one answered here?
It isn't allowed. That's right. It definitely is not allowed. The 101st football season for the Maize and Blue, the Big Blue team from Ann Arbor, Michigan. They have had some great moments in football, fantastic football. Incidentally, they lost, well, checking it off, their rebuilding program was probably the biggest thing they had to face this year defensively. And from every indication, the defense is answering the challenge. They've allowed the Notre Dame offense 14 points. A touchdown in the first quarter and a touchdown in the second period. But their offense has boomed out there with the biggest strong point on the Michigan team, their offensive line, their great blocking in the offensive line, to give their passing quarterback, John Wengler, an opportunity to throw. And they've come right back with 2 touchdowns for that 14-14 tie. They've got 10 seconds yet to go, and here they come, Tony.
Wide to the left is Alan Mitchell. Wengler, the quarterback, turns around, play action, fakes to Ricks, looking, throwing up over the middle. Pass intended for Mitchell. It is deflected away, incomplete, right around the Notre Dame 42-yard line.
Durison was there. Durison made the grab, and the ball was tipped in the air. And I think that Mitchell realized it was still floating there, and so did Durison. Durison tried to do a pivot in the air to catch it, to intercept it, and Mitchell tried to make a dive back at it.
Durison hurt his leg, and he's come off the field limping. So now they used up about 6 seconds on that play, 4 seconds remaining. 3rd down and 7 for Michigan. Brockington is wide out to the right. Here's the handoff to Ricks at the 40, comes to the outside, 45, at the 50, open field, 45, down to the 40-yard line, a first out at the 39, and the time runs out. So there it is, the end of the first half of play with a score. Notre Dame 14, Michigan 14. Now this for American Motors and Sears.
Halftime stats very quickly. Notre Dame 10 first downs, Michigan 8. The Irish with 92 yards rushing and 51 yards through the air had a total offense of 143 yards. Michigan 107 yards rushing, 62 through the air for a total of 169 yards. The maize and blue now takes the field. Notre Dame came out first from the tunnel, and now here comes Michigan onto the football field for the second half. We've got a big second half coming your way as the Irish in their Kelly green and gold gather around head coach Dan Devine, and across the way, Michigan's football team gathers around head coach Bo Schembechler. The kickoff is coming up shortly. Notre Dame will be kicking. Michigan will be receiving. Remember, it's all tied up at 14-14. And Tony Roberts, that is the way I'm going to turn it over to you. It's your ball game, all locked up.
Well, Michigan trailed 14-0, but Wengler came into the game with 4 minutes and 53 seconds left. Threw a touchdown pass to Lawrence Ricks from 8 yards out. Then he hit Betts, the tight end, with another touchdown pass from about 10 yards out. A couple of interceptions by Marion Body helped the situation. And so Michigan right back in the ballgame, and it looked like Notre Dame might retire to the locker room, at least with a 2-touchdown lead. So Notre Dame has its work cut out. They will tee the ball up at the 40-yard line. Johnson will kick off. Michigan will be moving left-right on your radio dial. And the Irish now know that they are going to be in a football game. We've got 30 minutes to play, and it should be an action-packed 30 minutes, this final 30 of the game. Notre Dame has never beaten Michigan here at Notre Dame Stadium. Again, a reminder, they are 0-3, and Michigan leads in this series 10 games to 3. Deep for Michigan, Anthony Carter. Also deep is the fullback, Stan Edwards. Mark Johnson will kick off for Notre Dame, and the second half is about to get underway. Notre Dame Stadium, basked in sunshine. The run-up and the kick. It's high. It'll come down about the goal line, taken by Carter at the 1. At the 5, cuts to the right, gets to the 10, to the 15, outside at the 20, to the 25, down the sideline, cuts in at the 30, at the 35. He's got a blocker. He could go all the way. He's to the 50, down to the 45, being chased, caught from behind, and dropped at the Notre Dame 32-yard line. It was Rod Bone who made the tackle from behind. He grabbed him around the shoulder pads and dropped him at about the 32. And Michigan in business, 1st and 10. A run back of, let's call it, about 67 yards.
67 yards, and Tony, if you think Anthony Carter can run, then think for a moment about what Rod Bone did, because Carter had him beaten by 3 or 4 steps, and Bone, cutting across the field laterally, caught him.
1st down and 10 for the Wolverines. Kenny Guerin as a wide receiver, handoff to Ricks. Ricks at the line of scrimmage is hit immediately by Don Kidd, the defensive right tackle. 240-pound senior hit him at the 30-yard line. Ricks with momentum got the ball down to the 29. The advance is 3. It'll be 2nd down, 7 Michigan, and they've got the ball at the Notre Dame 29.
Bank on it that the Michigan Wolverines are going to try to control that ball and see if they can drive it on the ground in for the touchdown.
Ricks has carried the ball 8 times, 59 yards. Wide to the right is Mitchell. Out to the left is Gear. Quick toss left side. Ball goes to Ricks 30. At the 25. He's onto the 20-yard line. And it's going to be a 1st down. The tackle was made by the free safety, Tom Gibbons. But not until Ricks had picked up 1st down yardage and then some. First and 10, Michigan at the Notre Dame 20.
The Irish defense, a 4-3 defense, and John Rice is in, number 45. John Rice is in at one of the linebacker spots. Bob Crable is at the middle linebacker slot. And Joe Radzinski is on the outside as the number 3 man.
From the eye, handoff to the fullback from Wengler. The ball goes to Edwards off the right side, inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line. So the fullback Edwards, a senior out of Detroit, picks up about 3 or 4. They'll mark it right around the 15 or right about the 16 and a half. Let's give him a long 3. It'll be second down and 7 to go for the first down.
Up on that front line is Kidd, along with Kramer, Hankard, and Scott Zedek. That's the front 4. Now you've got some changes being made there. The nickel is out.
So second down and 7 to go. Anthony Carter wide to the right, double tight end for Michigan. Wengler rolling to the right, looks, throws out of the backfield. Edwards at the 10, spins. He's got the first down. He's down to about the 7-yard line. Stan Edwards, the fullback, flaring out of the backfield. Wengler hit him. Nobody there to pick him up. A missed assignment somewhere, and it's first down. Goal to go, Michigan. They'll mark the ball down at the Notre Dame 6.
Tony, up in the booth, you could read blitz all the way on that. Every indication. Everybody was coming. You could read the blitz play. Wengler didn't have to do anything but take a couple of steps back, look to the safety valve man out to his right. He was wide open. Nobody there with everybody blitzing.
Mitchell goes wide left, double tight end. Dunaway on the right side, Betts on the left. Fullback is Edwards. Ricks is the tailback. First down, goal to go. Ricks up the middle at the 5. Slides inside, gets down to about the 3-yard line. Hanging on for dear life and making the tackle, the strong safety, Don DeCiato.
And down on the bottom, Scott Zedek. Mr. Zedek was in there to help on that. But believe me, Michigan now has got the steam up, ahead of steam up, and Notre Dame has got to dig in at the 3-yard line.
Second down, goal to go, Michigan. With 4:53 on the clock in the second quarter, the Wolverines were out of it, trailing 14-0. They put 2 markers on the board. They're going for their 3rd straight. Carter goes wide to the left. Edwards the fullback, front man in the eye. Ricks at tail, double tight end. Betts on the right side, Dunaway left. Wengler, handoff, Edwards, touchdown! Right up the middle, Stan Edwards. 3 yards for the score. So they go 32 yards in 6 plays, and for the first time this afternoon, the Wolverines are out in front.
And they go with their strength. They went right up the middle. They split George Liljer, the center, the big center, 250-pounder, and Kurt Becker, their great senior right guard. They went right between them for the yardage to put the touchdown on the scoreboard.
11:57 showing on the clock. Haji Sheik for the point after. It's down, it's up, and it is good. There's a timeout with a score. Michigan 21, Notre Dame 14.
Texas Aggies will host the Nittany Lions of Penn State in more exciting college football on Mutual. You can hear all of the action over many of these Mutual stations. Notre Dame will receive. Michigan will kick off. And teeing it up down there for Michigan at the moment is Haji Sheik. 11:57 remaining in the 3rd period, just underway here at South Bend. 3 minutes into the 3rd period, and Michigan already out of the blocks in a hurry. 21-14, they lead Notre Dame. Tony?
Ty Barber near side at the 2-yard line, Jimmy Stone on the far side, and here comes Haji Sheik. The run-up soccer-style kick. It is high, it'll come down very, very short. It'll bounce, and it is almost fumbled by Stone. He breaks away from one man, gets up to the 23-yard line. There's also a penalty marker on the play.
We've got a clip across the way there, and it's against Notre Dame.
So the Irish give up a touchdown on Michigan's first possession. And now they're guilty of a clipping infraction, and that's going to set Notre Dame back in the shadow of its own goal line.
Half the distance to the goal as they march it back to the 11-yard line.
So it's 1st and 10 now for Notre Dame at their own 11-yard line. Buchanan comes out. That means that Sweeney is back in at fullback. Curry, the quarterback, senior out of Sioux City, Iowa, threw 2 ill-timed interceptions late in the second quarter. From the eye, deep man is Carter. Wingman right side. Holohan in motion now to the near side. Give to Carter off the right side. They're waiting for him, but he still manages to get up to about the 15 or 16-yard line. Just a slant off the right side. Andy Cantavino, the captain and linebacker, made the tackle on the play, but not until Phil Carter picked up 5.
Take a look at the slant that Michigan line has. They slant the defensive line. They aim it at the strength of the offense. They'll pinch the tackles in very tightly there. You have a great deal of difficulty blocking out of the normal offensive line.
Tony Hunter comes wide to the left, flanked out to the right is Houlihan. Now Mastak will realign himself as the tight end on the right side. Curry with a long count. Fake to the fullback. Give to Carter off the right side. No, sir. They stacked that play up very quickly. Got a couple of yards on the play, maybe. Up to about the 17 or 18. Again, it's Cantavino. He's all over the field. He had 18 tackles, as I mentioned earlier, and 9 assists against Northwestern, 27 for the game. Leading tackler on the Michigan team, 6'1", 220-pound senior out of Cleveland, Ohio.
He's no doubt about it. He's a good one. He had 17 tackles against Notre Dame in the game last year, right here, or over in Ann Arbor.
Big third down play for Notre Dame. Third down and 4th, their own 17-yard line. From the eye, slot to the left side. In motion, Houlihan to the far right. Here's Corey. Sprinting out to the left side. May run it. Looking for a block. Tried to turn the corner. Slipped and fell. Lost yardage at about the 13-yard line. Just could not turn upfield. And Curry is stopped for a loss. Back at they'll mark it right around the 13-yard line. And it now becomes 4th down and 8 yards to go. And Blair Keel, the freshman quarterback, is in the punt.
Turgeback was putting pursuit on, pressure on the quarterback there, and was very happy that he was, because in trying to get away from Turgeback, that's exactly where Mike Curry made his mistake, tripping over his own man's foot.
Keel, 6'1", 200 pounds, a freshman out of Columbus, Indiana. Averaged 35.5 in his kicks against Purdue a couple of weeks ago. Michigan 21-14, and the Wolverines are certain to have field position once again. 4th down, 8 yards to go. A delay on the field as the official comes to the sideline to talk to Notre Dame coach Dan Devine. Probably wants the players back toward the bench and out of that restraining area. Keel about 2 yards deep in the end zone. And Carter at the Michigan 44-yard line. He's got an up back at the Notre Dame 43. Waiting for the snap is Blair Keel. Gets it. Helmet high. Has the time. Gets the kick. Off the side of his foot to the far side. Hits. Takes a big bounce. In the 40. Inside the 30. Inside the 25. Inside the 20. Carter's got it. Tried to turn it upfield. Does. At the 25-yard line and gets knocked out of bounds there. So the kick away from Carter, a good one, with a score, 21-14 Michigan. Timeout on the field. Now this for State Farm Insurance. Here's the handoff on the first play. The fullback Edwards gets the ball from the 26 up to about the 28-yard line. He stacked up there a gain of a couple. Michigan did not get the anticipated field position as the ball bounded by Anthony Carter, the safety. And what it turned out to be was a 69-yard kick with all the bounces and all. So they put it in play at the 26. They pick up 2 on Edwards' plunge up the middle. 2nd down and 8 for the Wolverines. They'll come out of the huddle at the 28-yard line. George Loja, the offensive captain, a senior from Paylors Park, Illinois, will snap it back to another senior, John Wangler, the quarterback from Royal Oak, Michigan. In motion near side is Kenny Gear. Waiting for the snap, getting it, handoff to Ricks, 30 up the 35-yard line. Lawrence Ricks, very, very quick, coming off the right side. Bobby Crable, the middle linebacker, made the hit on the play. Picked up almost 6 yards. It'll be 3rd down, about 2 to go with the first.
Ricks does that stutter step beautifully, doesn't he? He really gives it to you, takes it away from you. Incidentally, if you have any idea that 69-yard punt might be close to a Notre Dame record, you can forget about it. The longest punt ever kicked in a ball game was by Bill Shakespeare against Pittsburgh. It was 86 yards.
At one time in the first half, Notre Dame dominated both the offensive and defensive lines of scrimmage. Not so now as Michigan moves the ball. 3rd down and 2. The Irish stack the defense. They hand off to Edwards. He doesn't get the first down. He is hit at the 35, falls forward to the 36-yard line, but he appeared from here. He did not get the first down yardage. Bobby Crable was there. Scott Sedek was there. Don Kidd, the defensive tackle, was there, and I believe they're going to call for a measurement.
And add John Rice's name in there, too, as one of the linebackers. John Rice was right there, too. We're halfway through the third period here in South Bend, Indiana. Michigan leads Notre Dame 21-14 after the Irish had at one time a 14-0 lead.
8 minutes and 5 seconds left to go. We'll have a measurement here as the change come in from the far sideline. Very important measurement for both squads. And it looks like it's going to be... Well, Hankert is standing right in the line of vision here. Lil just says it's a first down. A first down, Michigan. By the tip of the football. So the Wolverines come up with another first down. 8:05 to go in the third quarter, and they maintain possession. They've got it 1st and 10 now at the 36-yard line. Anthony Carter has returned to the game for Michigan. 5'11", 161 pounds. Just a sophomore out of Riviera Beach, Florida. He's wide to the right. Out to the left is Alden Mitchell. Edwards the fullback, Ricks the tailback. Wangler the quarterback. Gives to Ricks, and that play isn't going to go anywhere. He is snowed under. He was stopped right around the line of scrimmage, and then Johnny Rice came in and put the finishing touches on him. Stood him straight up. The rest of the Notre Dame defense shoved him back to the 28-yard line. Rice 6'3", 205, a junior linebacker out of Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio.
Oh, did Big Don Kidd come then? Kidd took his guard in front of him, John Powers, who had a one-on-one block with him and just rode him right back into the runner. A loss of 4 yards on the play and a great play by defensive tackle Don Kidd.
Second down and 14 for Michigan at their own 32. Carter is wide to the left. Wangler, play action, looking for Carter. Fires, caught at the 40, at the 45, and knocked down right around the 46 or 47-yard line. Carter went out about 5 yards and slanted in toward the middle, broke away from the defender, took Wangler's pass. It was right on the money, and it's going to be very close to a first down.
Bob Crable was in there, part of the tackle there, and also Dave Burison. Incidentally, you got to say one thing about this fellow, John Wangler. He has been threading the needle with the passes. Very little daylight in that secondary, but he has managed to find the seam when he had to hit a man, and hit a man wide open like Anthony Carter. He has completed 6 of 10 for 67 yards.
Third down, a foot to go for a first down. Wangler's got double tight end, wingman to the right side. Here's a quick toss, Rick to the right side. Gonna be smothered. Oh, he got away from Clem. Breaks another tackle, and then gets dropped at about the 41-yard line. Joe Lazinski, the right side linebacker, finally put the clincher on him at about the 41-yard line, but it looked like he was going to be stopped back at the 35 as Notre Dame was coming on the play. Everybody coming in on the blitz. But they now face 4th down and 5. It looked like a sure first down for Michigan with 3rd and a foot. They tried to go to the outside. That didn't work. Now they're going to have to punt.
Wangler did not read the blitz that time. It was not as apparent as it was before. He didn't read it properly. He ran the original play he called instead of checking off at the line.
So now it becomes 4th and 5 with the ball at the 41. Michigan will have to punt. Here's Bracken back, sends the ball high and very, very deep. Johnny Cram back. He's going to field the ball at the 15, at the 20, and he's out at the 21-yard line. There's a timeout with a score. Michigan 21, Notre Dame 14. High formation, hold a hand, flanker right in motion near side. Here's Curry, faking, looking, rolling to the right, looks, throws the ball on the run, pass into a crowd is incomplete. There's a penalty marker up around the 29-yard line. Mel Owens got a hand on the ball. Hunter was there, looked like the intended receiver.
He was indeed. He was the intended receiver, all right, Tony, but that flag went flying before he ever got rid of that football. It's going to be against the Irish. They're going to step off yardage. And let me say this, Curry now is being maybe a little indiscreet in throwing that football. He rolled out to the right. He had a man right in front of him about 4 yards away, but he opted to throw instead, or try to get it to Hunter in a crowd.
Walk off against Notre Dame, and the ball will be brought down to the 10.5-yard line. That's the 3rd penalty against Notre Dame. 4th penalty, rather, 4 for 33. Michigan's been penalized once, 5 yards.
Illegal pass receiver downfield on the play.
Curry has been known to run. So now Notre Dame is faced with first down and 20 to go. The ball at the Notre Dame 11-yard line. Hunter is wide to the left. Irish need a big play. They've been stonewalled offensively here in the second half. Long count by Curry. Gets the snap, gives the ball to Carter. Carter up over the middle, runs right into the waiting arms of Andy Canavino, the linebacker. and gets stopped right around the line of scrimmage. Maybe picked up a yard, and that's about all.
One thing about the Michigan linebackers, you got to say, they know that the Irish are famous for misdirection plays. They give you all the action coming to the right, and then they'll send that lone man with nobody blocking in front of him going back to the left. They've been looking for that hole. They expect the linebackers to come, to pursue. Cannavino has not been pursuing. He sits, he waits, he reads, then he makes a tackle.
Gain of a yard, 2nd down and 9. Curry has Hunter out to the left end, Houlihan out to the right. Hunter one-on-one against Brian Carpenter. Hand off to the fullback, punches the ball up to about the 15-yard line, and that's about as far as he's going to go. Mike Jerkovic comes over to make the stop. John Sweeney was the ball carrier. So now Notre Dame is faced with third down. Third down and about 16 yards to go for the first down.
Another case of those tackles, the two tackles for Michigan, pinching off. There was Turgeback pinching and cutting right across in front of his nose guard. He went right in front of Caraway to get to the runner on that play.
Blair Keel, the freshman out of Columbus, Ohio, is in at quarterback for Notre Dame. 6'1", 200-pounder. From the eye. Keel now will go to the shotgun. Winds up back at the 5-yard line. So the Irish showing Michigan something a little different here. Keel's got a quick kick. Kicks the ball over the head of the safety man. It bounces. The 30. Inside the 25. It bounces. It fumbles. Scramble for the ball. And it is recovered by Keith Bostic, the free safety at the 26-yard line. Blair Keel, a 60-yard punt. We pause briefly here for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network.
Bostic is going to hear from the coaches come Monday. Touching a football like that is an absolute 100% no-no. You just don't do it, and particularly on the punt coverage with Pete Houlihan right on top of the football. Bostic touched the football, almost lost control, and he is down on the sideline. So with the score here, Michigan 21, Notre Dame 14. Timeout on the field.
3:43 left to go in the third quarter. Michigan 21, Notre Dame 14. Michigan ball at their own 26. Wangler, turnaround. Play action. Fake to Ricks. Dumps the ball over to Ricks over the middle at the 30-yard line. Breaks the tackle, gets up to the 35, about a yard short of a first down. Play action pass by Wangler, faking to the tailback, who went right through the hole up the middle, took the short flip, picked up 9 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 1, Michigan at their own 35.
The Irish are using a little delay up on the front line. They usually give you a 4-man front rush. Instead, they're sending 3 straight in and using either Kramer or Kidd, the two tackles, one of them looping to the outside with a delay, hoping that they'll have an avenue open to get to the quarterback.
Alvin Mitchell wide to the right. Michigan goes to a double tight end with 3rd down and 1. Wangler waiting for the snap from Captain George Locher. Gets it, gives it to fullback Edwards. Got the first down. Hit the right side, got the ball all the way up to about the 40-yard line. And right now, Michigan dominating the line of scrimmage, eating up the clock. It is under 3 minutes, 2:54 to go.
John Rice and Don Kidd converge on him and make the stop at the 40-yard line. But that's after the horses have left the barn when they've got that first down. And Michigan right now, I'm sure, will look at that clock on the far end of the field and say one thing. Keep the football. Let's control it. Let's grind it out if we have to and score again.
John Hankert given a breather. He's replaced by Jeff Lucan. Play action again. Wangler's got the time. It's hit. Notre Dame's got its first sack of the afternoon by Pat Kramer, the defensive tackle. And then Jeff Lucan came in and wrapped them up, and Notre Dame has its first sack a week ago. They sacked Purdue quarterback 2 weeks ago, Scott Campbell, 8 times.
Pat Kramer is the man who did it, as you said, Tony. He got in there, and he had John Powers had the job, the big right guard, of making the block, and Powers had Kramer push him right back. A 7-yard loss on the play.
2nd down and 17 for Michigan. Back at their own 33-yard line. Anthony Carter is wide to the left. Here's Wangler, gives that ball to Rick, sprinting up the middle, breaks one tackle, can't get by another man. He is hit by Don Kidd, the senior out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and the big tackle makes the stop on the play after Carter gets up to, the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. To the 33, it'll be 3rd down. Still about, let's make it 16 to go. Give him a yard on the play.
Oh, this young sophomore from Cincinnati, Don Kidd, is playing a game. George Lilja, the senior center of Michigan, had the job of blocking him, and Kidd went right through him across to make that tackle, and he really got the runner with one arm.
Clock shows a minute and 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Michigan by 7, 21-14. Wangler faced with 3rd down, 16 at his 34. Play action looking for Carter. Intercepted! Intercepted! And down to the 30, down to the 25, down to
it. He picked up his blocking going down the sidelines. He made the cut at about the 20-yard line. He was almost tackled at the 10, pulled his heel away from a would-be Michigan tackler, and went the rest of the way. John Krim, the junior from Columbus, Ohio, a super defensive cornerback, has produced the touchdown. That is the first Michigan turnover of the game, and it's a 21-20 Michigan lead now.
1 minute and 3 seconds left to go. Third quarter, Harry Oliver will try and tie it up. Batted down by Cagle, kicked up, it is good. No, it went off to the left. So now we've got a 21-20 game. We'll have more after this 30-second message for Budweiser.
Unofficially, we're chalking it up as a 47-yard interception and return for the touchdown by cornerback John Krim. The Irish are very much back in the ball game. Just over a minute remaining here at South Bend, Indiana in the third period. 1 minute, 3 seconds remain. Michigan leads Notre Dame 21-20, and as the clock of momentum in football swings, possibly it has swung again. Back to the Irish, who led in this game at one time, 14-0. Notre Dame sets to kick off. Michigan sets to receive, and Tony Roberts is ready at the mic.
At the goal line, Anthony Carter. The up back, a couple of yards in front of him, is Butch Woolfolk, who is normally the starting tailback for the Michigan Wolverines, but he's given away to Lawrence Ricks today. And Johnson has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. So as Al mentioned, perhaps the tide will turn here, as it did for Michigan in the late stages of the second quarter, as Notre Dame had dominated play for most of the first half. Then the Wolverines put 2 scores on the board. Curry threw a couple of interceptions. Wangler came into the ball game and sparked 2 Michigan touchdown drives. A bit breezy out there because the ball will not stay on the tee, and Johnston will have to reposition the ball at the 40-yard line.
Incidentally, for John Krim, Tony, that was his first Notre Dame touchdown. Playing cornerback, he doesn't have much of an opportunity, but then you can pick him off and you can return him. And Mr. Krim, as a junior, has just had the thrill of getting into the end zone for the first time.
Well, they're going to have to hold the ball this time. It's been a long time since you've seen that happen.
Indeed.
Goes back to the good old days. Here's the kick. It is high. It'll come down. Woolfolk lets the ball go out of the end zone. Michigan will take over at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Al, you remember a couple of weeks ago. Now a penalty marker on the play.
And it's going to be
unnecessary roughness, a little extracurricular activity at the 20-yard line. Al, a couple of weeks ago, Krim stepped in front of a Purdue receiver and looked like he was going to intercept the ball and run down the sideline for a touchdown, but he missed it and went through his hands, and it turned out to be a big play for Purdue because the receiver did make the grab, and Purdue went on to score a touchdown later on in that series. But this time, the ball was right at Krim, hit him on the numbers, and all he had to do was outrun everybody, and that's what he did.
What a thrill that must be for a young man to be on defense and to be able to pump his team up with a touchdown. Yardage stepped off there on that penalty, personal foul
Against Michigan.
Back to the 10-yard line. Michigan will start at their 10. That is very, very deep, and they are starting with the wind shifting now, and the wind blowing directly into the face of the Michigan Wolverines.
Michigan at its own 10-yard line. First down and 10 yards. Make that first down and 20 yards to go. They tack it onto the other arch. Julian is back at quarterback now for Michigan. Sophomore from Plymouth. Fakes the ball to the fullback, keeps the ball himself, and then runs into Big Bob Crable, the middle linebacker, after picking up a yard or two at about the 12-yard line. So the quarterback keeper, after the fake to the fullback, saw daylight for a moment, then big number 43 came in there and popped him after a 2-yard advance. 2nd and 18, Michigan, back at the 12.
That tri-captain of the Irish, Bob Crable. Take a look at his size, 222, 6'3", and just as quick can be. He moves with the football, doesn't he?
He and Zavagnin came into this game with 12 tackles apiece to lead the Notre Dame defenders. Back to throw. Hewlett, play action, had the time, fires, got a man open, and is incomplete. It was intended for Fred Brockington on the far sideline at the 34-yard line. He got popped pretty good by Tommy Gibbons. So that'll make it 3rd down and 17.
John Wangler, of course, with the coming off of the operation on the knee, is the better passer, and it is Hewlett right now running the ball club. So when he goes to the air, you're not going to see the best Michigan passer throwing.
3rd and 17. Play action again, looking for Carter, rolling to the right. Hewlett looking, big pressure, throws the ball. It is caught. Or they're going to call it incomplete. They're going to call it a trap. The pass was low. It was to Gerald Ingram, the fullback, and it is ruled a trap by the official who was on the play at the 15-yard line. Fourth down and 17 and 59,075. A sellout here at Notre Dame Stadium. Respond to the Irish defense.
Actually, you can almost sense now that there's been a switch, a change. The momentum really may have swung. Will the Irish go after this kick? I've got to believe they will put the pressure on every bit they can on the freshman who is kicking, Don Bracken.
Bracken out of Thermopolis, Wyoming, about 2 yards deep in the end zone. Dorset standing at the 47-yard line. The punt. It is high. It'll come down. No, it's going to be Carter at the 50. He's at the 45. No, it's Dorset, not at the 45-yard line. A 38-yard kick. 7 seconds showing on the clock. Notre Dame with excellent field position. First and 10 at the Michigan 45.
Once again, let me remind you, the Gillette Company and Mutual Radio will award $1,000 to the University of Notre Dame General Scholarship Fund in the name of former All-American halfback Creighton Miller, who starred on the Notre Dame National Championship team of 1943. Creighton played in the Fighting Irish backfield from 41 through 43. He was the star of Notre Dame's 35-12 victory over Michigan in the 1943 season. We had breakfast, as a matter of fact, Tony, with him this morning.
First down and 10 at the 44-yard line of the Wolverines. Carter, the tailback. Houlihan, the wingman, left side in motion to the far side of the field. Curry with a toss. Carter at the 50, at the 45, still on his feet. All they're going to say is knee touched the ground right around the 44-yard line. So there it is, the end of the third quarter of play with a score. Michigan 21, Notre Dame 20. Now this for GMC Trucks.
21-20. Michigan leads Notre Dame with 15 minutes of playing time remaining in the fourth quarter. Through 3 quarters, the Irish have 8 first downs. Michigan has 11. 216 yards total offense for the Wolverines, 148 yards for the Fighting Irish. Michigan had 131 yards rushing, 85 yards through the air, while Notre Dame has 95 yards on the ground and 53 yards passing. The Irish completed 5 of 9 passes attempted. Michigan completed 8 of 17.
21-20, fourth quarter. First and 10. Make that second down and 10. Notre Dame at the Michigan 44. Snap back. Curry eluding a couple of tacklers. He's upended in the backfield as Andy Canavito was blitzing on the play. Got him around the ankles and dropped him as Curry fell forward. He was hit at the 49-yard line of Michigan. Fell forward to the 47. A loss on the play. It'll be third down and 13 to go.
There was Curry trying to step back up into the pocket. He'd made the deep drop, realized that he had the rush on. Both the linebackers were blitzing. He was trying to get up to be able to establish and throw.
Third and 13. Big play for Notre Dame. Hunter wide right, Houlihan out to the left. Buchanan at fullback. Pass, it is intended for Hunter. It is deflected, and it goes out of bounds. Hunter on a slant in. The pass was deflected. The ball went out of bounds. Chasing the ball out of bounds was linebacker Mel Owens. That's going to make it fourth down now. Still 13 yards to go, and Blair Keel comes into punt for Notre Dame.
A big opportunity for the Irish, a big break to have the ball in that position, and now a turnover that carries it for the boards. It goes for really no avail.
Michigan will not have Anthony Carter as the deep safety, but they will have Brian Carpenter, a 5'11", 166-pound junior cornerback out of Flint, Michigan, as the deep man back at the 10-yard line. Field position ever so important now with Notre Dame down by 21-20. Top of the fourth quarter, 14-20 on the clock. Keel, a freshman out of Columbus, Indiana, gets the boot off the side of his foot. It'll hit at about the, let's call it the 24-yard line, and it'll be down at the 26, a bad kick. With a score after a 21-yard kick, 21-20, Michigan. Timeout on the field. Now this for State Farm Insurance. Hewlett with a long count, gets the snap turned around, fake to the fullback, keeps the ball himself. Bobby Craven is there to make the tackle as he tried to go off right tackle. Bob Clasby was also there. Notre Dame smelled that play out. Did not go for the fake to the fullback. Timmy Marshall was also in there. And that's going to make it third down now at about 8 yards to go. They lose about a yard on the play.
That's a short option there. The quarterback can keep the football and usually does. In this case, Hewlett, he's a better running quarterback. And, of course, Wangler is the man who can throw the football. And here's Hewlett looking for the hole to open there, rolling down the line to the right side. He had Clasby coming around, looping inside and almost on top of him.
Wide to the right now is Rockington. Now in motion to the near side is Alden Mitchell. And Hewlett back to throw. Humps, looks, being pressured. Eludes a couple of tacklers, trying to run, gets hit, knocked out of bounds. Joe Radzinski, the linebacker, knocked him out of bounds at the 30-yard line. And so Michigan now will be faced with fourth down and a punting situation after the quarterback Hewlett, being pressured on the play, couldn't find an open receiver, really didn't have the time, picked up a couple of yards to sprint out to the right side, and in the punt now is Don Bracken.
Jeff Lucan, who was in it at defensive end for Notre Dame, bypassed him, ran right by him, couldn't get a hand on him. So did John Rice. So the Irish are putting the pressure on. They're just not getting to the quarterback.
First time this year, Notre Dame using a double safety, far side Dorson, who's got a leg injury and has not played much. A very high snap. Bracken gets the ball. He sails a boomer. Here's Dorson back, bobbles the ball, picks it up at the 10, gets away from one man, gets up to about the 18 or 19-inch tackle there. There's a timeout after a 60-yard punt by Bracken with a score. Michigan 21, Notre Dame 20. I think they've been allayed by the play of the Michigan defense here in the second half.
Well, it's surprising because he had to rebuild it completely. He lost 7 football players who were starters off of that ball club, and 2 of the men he counted on to make the ball club were beaten out by other ball players. It'll be second down and 9 for Notre Dame. Notre Dame score coming on a 47-yard interception for a touchdown by John Krim. Rolling to the right, Curry looking, throwing the ball long, intended for Hunter. He had him wide open, and that pass was a wobbler. He almost threw that one into Mishawaka, as a matter of fact. Very reminiscent of Billy Kilmer's passes with the Redskins. Rolling to the right, Curry put it up there, and he's throwing into the wind. It's important, I think, to remember right now. We might point out, with 11:53 to go here, the Irish are moving from left to right here. They are moving right into the wind. If there's any thought of kicking a long field goal here to maybe pull out a victory against Michigan, Notre Dame, more or less, would have to forget that, I think, because there's a good 20-mile-an-hour wind blowing in here. Moose Prowse, the athletic director in the booth next to us, must be on his 14th cigar by now. Every bit of it. Third down, 9. Curry, play action. Looking, sets up, throwing long down the far side. Overthrows Mastak. And Curry got dumped unceremoniously on the seat of his pants. Was looking for a call from the official. He got hit and hit pretty good. Got knocked down after he threw the pass. No call on the play. That's going to make it fourth down and 9. And Blair Keel is going to have to punt. And his last punt was no bargain. No, he shanked that last one for about 25 yards. Curry's last six passes, 2 intercepted, 4 incomplete. 11:46 to go, fourth quarter. Gets the waist-high snap and booms one. It is a beauty. Brian Carpenter back at the 37, to the 40, to the 45, hit knocked down at the 47-yard line. A 43-yard kick by Keel against the wind. So Michigan will have the ball, first down and 10. This time they'll have the field position at their own 46. Tom Fair was in on that tackle. He made the tackle for Notre Dame, and now Michigan at their 46-yard line with great field position. In the third quarter, listen to this, UCLA leads Purdue 16-14. Indiana has beaten Kentucky 36-30. John Wangler is back at quarterback for Michigan. Waiting for the snap, wide out left and right. We don't see Anthony Carter in there. Quick toss right side, Woolfolk at the 40. Tries to turn the corner, gets to the 45, fights to the 49 or 50-yard line. Woolfolk on a sweep to the right side was finally upended by Johnny Krim. After a gain of, about 3 or 4 yards, it'll be second down. Let's make it 7 yards to go for the first down. Here's the final, Tony. West Virginia has been beaten by Maryland 14-11, and Georgia has beaten Clemson 20-16. That's final. In the third quarter, 38-14, Alabama leads Ole Miss. Georgia Bulldogs now 3-0. 11 minutes left to go in the game. Wangler, handoff to the fullback, Edwards, in Notre Dame territory, crossed the 50, got down to about the 48-yard line, gets piled up there, picked up about 3 on the play.
Now Michigan's going to be faced with third down and 4 yards to go at the Notre Dame 48-yard line. Third down conversions, Michigan 6 of 14 this afternoon. Notre Dame 7 of 11.
Other football scores around the country very quickly. The Big Red up there in Columbus, Ohio. Ohio State is rolling against Minnesota. In the fourth quarter, 47-0, Ohio State.
Brockington wide to the right. Kenny Gear comes out to the left. Wangler turns around. Will it be enough for the first down? Receiver was hit at about the 44-yard line of Notre Dame. The ball went to Gerald Ingram, who came out of the backfield. Notre Dame has had difficulty covering that pass, anything to any backs coming out of the backfield today, and the Irish have not been there on the spot to cover. They marked the ball at the 44-yard line,
And that is
going to be a first down.
Yes, indeed. The official was hesitant about putting that ball down, then finally placed it down there. I thought he was going to put it at the 45. Had he put it at the 45, it would not have been a first down.
Notre Dame's defense has spent an interminable amount of time on the field here in the second half. First and 10. Wangler's got him at the 44 of the Irish. Handoff to the fullback. Punches over the middle. Comes off the left side. Bobby Crable is there. The tackle made by another Notre Dame defender. A gain of about, maybe a yard or so. Scott Zedek was the man who made the stop on the play. Ingram is the fullback. He's 6'2", 217 pounds. He's out of Beaver, Pennsylvania. Going out of the game right now is Kenny Gear, and Anthony Carter is back in for Michigan.
Interesting thing about Ingram is that he is a track man, and one time he lived in Thailand with his family for about 5 years. Wide to the right is Mitchell. Out to the left is Carter. Here's Wangler. Gives the ball to Woolfolk. Sprints off the middle at the 40. He's at the 435, and he's down to the 32-yard line. As the open field tackle is made by middle linebacker Bob Crable. Johnny Grimm was there also, but it's another Michigan first down. That fella has fantastic speed, Butch Woolfolk. He is one of the fastest runners to ever go to Michigan, the Big Ten sprint champion for one thing. Ran the 100 meters one time in 1:10. The leading scorer last year with 13 touchdowns rushing, and he didn't even start this ball game.
It is rumored that he's not in Bo Schembechler's favor because he ran track and did not participate in football in the spring. Handoff off the right side, and Woolfolk inside to about the 31-yard line. Pat Kramer made the hit for Notre Dame. A gain of about 3. It'll be second down and 7 for Michigan. They eat up precious seconds on the clock. It now shows 8:35.
And right now, if the Irish are going to do it, they're going to have to start getting together, regrouping, and digging in. If Michigan shoves another score down there, it'll be awfully hard to come from behind with 8 points or 9 points.
21-20, Michigan out in front. Wangler, play action, looking for the slanting man. Can't get him. Dumps the ball in the backfield to Ingram at the 30. Hit, knocked down. He's knocked forward to about the 25-yard line. Tim Marshall was over there to put the finishing touches on the receiver, and they'll mark the ball down at the 24-yard line. The tackler actually gave him a couple of yards by knocking him forward, and now Michigan faced with third down and 1 yard to go for the first down at the Notre Dame 24.
Now, this is exactly what the big blue team from Ann Arbor likes. They like third down and short yardage.
Double tight end, Dunaway right side. Norm Betts on the left side. Wide to the left is Alan Mitchell. Third down a yard. Quick toss right side. Woolfolk got the first down. Inside the 20, fumble, and Notre Dame got the ball. Fumble the ball, and Notre Dame with Dave Dorfman falling on the ball, and the Irish get their second big break of the second half. A fumble, the first one, and Notre Dame's only offense of the second half was a 47-yard return with a pass by John Krim for a touchdown.
That loose football had to be hit by somebody's helmet. Woolfolk went down at the 15-yard line with the football, and as he went down, just as he hit, the ball shot out of his hand a good 10 yards back up the field, back at the 26-yard line. What a break for Notre Dame.
First down and 10 for Notre Dame at their own 26. Here's Curry handing off. Hunter's going to throw a ball. Looks close downfield. Houlihan got it at the 43-yard line of Michigan. They flicked the ball to Carter up the middle. Hunter came around on a flanker reverse, rolled to the right side, threw the ball long upfield. Houlihan had one-on-one coverage, 31 yards on the pass play.
The man he beat was Jeff Reeves, and Reeves was trying to match him stride for stride, but Houlihan had beaten him.
First and 10, Notre Dame at the Michigan 43. 7:26 to go in the game. Michigan leads by 21-20. Wing to the right, double tight end. Wingman Houlihan in motion to the far side. Curry, give to Carter. Carter up the middle, nowhere to go. He was hit hard by Targovic, the defensive left end. We're going to pause briefly here for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network.
With the clock running, 7:03 now as the Irish break the huddle. Michigan leads at 21-20, and the Irish are moving the football.
Second down, 9, Notre Dame to Michigan 43. Houlihan wide to the left. Play action, back to throw. Looking, pass is caught at the 35-yard line. It is the tight end, Dean Massack, who made the grab coming across. His third catch of the afternoon. He knocked down at the 33-yard line, and it's going to be very close to a first down. It'll be very close to a first down. They're going to have a measurement.
They're going to bring the sticks across, but I believe this one is going to be good by maybe a couple of inches. Just checking the sidelines. It was very close on the sidelines over there, and where the point of the ball stands right now. Let's see. We'll find out any minute now. Just listen to the crowd reaction.
It is a first down. By half the length of the football, a first down for Notre Dame. They've got it at the Michigan 33. The Irish offense dormant in the second half. Starting to open up. They trail by 1. The clock shows 6:41. We're in the fourth quarter. Wide to the left goes Hunter. Tail back is Phil Carter. Curry's gone most of the way at quarterback except for a couple of plays. Turns around, gives to Carter off the left side. 30 at the 25 to the outside. Knocked down from behind at the 23-yard line. Open field tackle by Marion Body.
That Body was the man that had to catch him, and Body caught him from behind.
9 yards on the play. Carter, 26 carries, 86 yards this afternoon. Second down, a yard to go. The crowd now responding to the Irish drive. They're at the Michigan 24-yard line. Out of the huddle they come. Captain John Scully, 6'5", 255 senior out of Huntington, New York. Will snap it back to Curry. Slot to the right. Curry handoff. Fullback Buchanan, left side. He's got the first down as he plunges down to about the 21-yard line.
Right in front of him, Baumberger makes a good straight-on, head-on block now. The Irish now beginning to sustain the movement of the football. They're doing it on the inside. You know, for a good 2 quarters, Notre Dame hasn't made a first down on the inside running. It's been to the outside they've had to go. Now, these last 3 plays have been to the inside.
5 minutes, 40 seconds left to go. The ball at the Michigan 21-yard line. Notre Dame trailing by 1. Double tight end, wing to the left side. That's Houlihan. Now set in motion by Curry to the near side of the field. Turn around, give to Carter, finds an opening at the 15-yard line. Tackle from behind, and a man who made the stop again was Jeff Reed. He's made more than his share of tackles. A strong safety out of Columbus, Ohio. But it'll be a pickup on the play of nearly 6 yards. Second down, a long 4 for Notre Dame.
5 minutes and 12 seconds, and the clock is going to play a big part now. Very, very big part. Not in the possibility of a Notre Dame score, but in what Michigan will do in retaliation.
Double tight end stack guy. Give the Carter up over the middle. He is hit. Spins forward, gets inside the 50. Knocked forward by a Michigan defender. Robert Thompson, the linebacker, hit him, shoved him forward. So he'll pick up yardage down to about the 14-yard line. And now it becomes third down and 3 for the Irish.
Now, it was the field goal that won for Notre Dame last year. 12-10. 4 field goals, as a matter of fact. Now they're down inside of the 15. They may have to send a man in there after this play if they don't get the first down and try the field goal to go ahead again.
Double tight end stack guy for Notre Dame. The deep man is Carter. Turn around, give to Carter, looking for running room at the 10. He's at the 8-yard line. First down, goal to go, Notre Dame. Brian Carpenter made the open field tackle.
Beautiful play by Phil Carter. This little man from Tacoma, Washington, can really run, and he has 99 yards for today in 29 carries. We do have a Michigan football player down.
And Carter would like a bit of a breather, and Jimmy Stone comes in. He'll be the tailback for Notre Dame. Robert Thompson, the linebacker, shaken up, coming off the field with a little bit of assistance. The ball is at the Michigan 8-yard line. First down, goal to go. The Notre Dame offense triggered on a fumble by Woolfolk, recovered by Dorson, when it looked like Michigan was going to punch in another score, or at least get a 3-pointer. First down, goal to go, Notre Dame. 4:09 on the clock and running. I formation. Stone, the tailback, gets the call right side, down to about the 6-yard line. Not much running room as Andy Canavino, the linebacker and defensive captain for Michigan, charges in to make the initial contact. A gain of 2, second down, goal to go from the 6.
Bob Thompson out of that defensive end, injured a moment ago for Michigan. Oliver Johnson, the senior from Detroit, at the 6-yard line now.
Double tight end, Mazdak left, Hunter to the right. Sweeney the fullback, Stone the tailback, get the Stone, up the middle at the 5, hit down at the 4-yard line. It looked for a moment like he was going to burst through, but somebody from Michigan, a defender, came in. It was Canavino again who came in to make the tackle. That's why he's Michigan's defensive captain. He can make the big play. It'll be third down, goal to go. Notre Dame at the Michigan 4-yard line, and Notre Dame's going to call for a timeout. With the score, Michigan 21 and Notre Dame 20. A timeout in the field. Now this.
Here in South Bend, Indiana, we have the old cliffhanger. Believe me, it's all hanging out right now with 3 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. 21-20, Michigan leads the football game. Notre Dame is inside of the Michigan 5-yard line at the 4, and here they come up to the line of scrimmage. Tony?
And Bill Carter is back in the backfield. He's the tailback in a stack eye. Curry, hands off Carter, pass, touchdown! Dove into the end zone. Right up the middle, Bill Carter. 4 yards for the score, and the Irish are out in front by 5, 26-21. 74 yards, 11 plays, following a fumble recovery by Dave Dorson.
Right into the end zone they went. Everybody got in front. They just led the way. There was a lane there they could have driven. A truck right through it. Went for the touchdown to give the Irish a 26-21 lead. They'll try for 2.
Notre Dame going for 2. Here's Curry waiting for the snap now. Wideouts everywhere, one setback, and that is Sweeney. In motion to the right side. Here's Stone. Curry looking, throwing the ball on the run. The pass is incomplete. The man for whom it was intended was well covered by Brian Carpenter. And that was Houlihan. There's a timeout with a score. Notre Dame 26, Michigan 20.
Mike Johnson has it teed up. Notre Dame will kick off. 3:03 remains, and here we go. Tony?
That's correct. The score, 26-21, Notre Dame. A bouncer. Far side. Bounce down to about the 10-yard line. It's taken at the 8. Dancing away. Getting up to about the 9-yard line. At the 20 and knocked down there at the 20-yard line was one of the upbacks, Tommy Hospital, actually is the defensive back on the special teams. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Michigan at the 21-yard line. The clock now shows 2:53.
Tommy Hassel did a no-no there. That ball would have gone out of bounds.
Big play in that Notre Dame drive, a 31-yard pass play, Hunter to Houlihan. 1st and 10, Michigan at the 21-yard line. 2:53 on the clock. The Wolverines have 3 timeouts remaining. Notre Dame has 2. Wangler would like the crowd to quiet just a bit. Senior out of Royal Oak, Michigan, 6'3", 192 pounds. He threw a touchdown pass to Ricks, an 8-yarder, then one to Betts from 10 yards. In the victory over Northwestern, Hewlett threw the 2 touchdown passes. Wangler waiting for the snap from center George Loggia. Play action, back to throw, looking, under pressure, fires. It is penalty marker on the play, and it's going to be against Joe Radzinski, the right side linebacker of Notre Dame. Pass was intended for Betts.
Interference is going to be called down there.
They'll mark the ball at the spot of the infraction right around the 29-yard line. They'll move the sticks, and it'll be a first down at the 29. 2:47 left. Notre Dame by 5, 26-21. Wide out to the left side is Allen Mitchell. Wangler is the quarterback, got him set up in an eye. The tight end is on the right side. Looks over at Notre Dame's front 4. Fires over the middle, pass is almost intercepted. It was intended for Mitchell, and it almost got picked off by Johnny Rice, the junior linebacker from Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio.
Wangler's throw was very, very low. If he was trying to pump one in there in the breadbasket for a catch down low, he certainly had it low enough. Almost picked off, as you said, by John Rice, who made a dive and couldn't hold on.
Rockington comes in, replaces Allen Mitchell as a wide receiver. Wangler 9 out of 14, 85 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Carter wide to the right, Rockington out to the left. Wangler straight drop back, looking, fires the ball to Woolfolk. at the 32, 35 to the 40-yard line, and a first down for Michigan. The clock continues to run, then stops after the first down. 2:32 remaining. Michigan ball, first and 10 at their own 41. And again, that back coming out of the backfield, nobody there covering for Notre Dame.
The linebackers are taking the deep drops, and the middle linebacker, Bob Crable, has been sliding over to the right just in case, and watching the quarterback to keep him in tow in case he wanted to run.
First and 10. The ball at the 41-yard line. Michigan possession. Play action. Back to throw. Wangler being pressured. Eludes the one tackler. Can't elude another. And the man who put the pressure on was Pat Kramer. He got away from Kramer initially. Tried to step into the pocket after circling left. Kramer kept right after him. Got him from behind. Slowed him up. Stopped him. And now we're down with 2 minutes left to go. A loss on the play back to the 41. Shaking up on the play is Don Kidd of Notre Dame, the senior tackle from Cincinnati, Ohio.
And Kidd has played a great ball game. He's played a tremendous defensive ball game. If Kidd comes out of there, probably Bob Clasby is going to go in. Maybe even Tim Marshall. I think Marshall can flip-flop over to that side, the young freshman.
So it's now second down and 12 yards to go. They'll mark the ball right at the 38-yard line of Michigan. Officials call for time while Kidd is helped off the field. He's on his feet, limping off, being helped. 1:48 remaining. Notre Dame in its prevent defense. Wangler can throw. Long and very hard. Wide left Mitchell. Out to the right is Carter. Wangler gives on the sprint draw. Woolfolk 45. Woolfolk to the 50. Fumble the ball. Michigan has recovered at the Notre Dame 41-yard line. Woolfolk fumbled again. It's the second fumble this afternoon, but this time it was John Powers, the offensive left guard, a senior out of Oak Park, Illinois, who was the man on the spot. Put his big body, 265 pounds on it, and it's a first down for Michigan.
And it's a good thing he wrapped that body around him because Scott Zedek was right on top of him.
I've just been handed a rosary. A minute, 30 seconds left to go. Play action again, fake to Woolfolk. Back looking, throws it out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. The intended receiver, the tight end, Craig Dunaway, covered very nicely on the play by Tom DeCiano, the strong safety. So the clock now stops at 1:22 to go. Second down, 10. Michigan ball at the Notre Dame 41.
Wangler is a pocket passer. He likes to drop back. He uses those guards. Powers and Becker both drop back, form the pocket. Scott Zedek was really putting some pressure on. He was shoving Powers around. Almost got to John Wangler on that last pass.
George Loja, the offensive captain, out over the ball. Deployed out to the right. Fred Brockington, slot to the right side. The big play man, Anthony Carter. Woolfolk at tailback. The quarterback is Wangler. They're in the I formation. The tight end is on the left side. Waiting for the snap, gets it. Play action again. Wangler firing pass is caught off, or was it? Nope, they're going to roll it incomplete. It looked for a moment like it was almost intercepted. Carter got a hand on it. He got popped. The football rolled around. It was incomplete at about the 25-yard line, and it almost appeared that Johnny Krim was going to pick off his second pass of the afternoon.
Johnny Krim went after that, and I mean, his whole body was in the air as he went for it. Tom DeCiano was right there along with him. They really put the pressure on the receiver, and either one of them could have, with a great catch, pulled it in. Third down and 10. Michigan ball at the Notre Dame 41-yard line. 26-21, Notre Dame. A minute, 16 seconds to go. Carter out to the right, Mitchell out to the left. Handoff. Goes to Woolfolk. 30, 25, at the 20, the 15, the 10, down to the 5. On the sprint throw, Butch Woolfolk up the middle. And he has put Michigan down at the Notre Dame 5-yard line. First down and goal to go. An impossible play, an impossible call, but it worked. A draw play. That's exactly what it was, and Butch Woolfolk had the great ability to run 36 yards on the play, inside the 5, at the Notre Dame 4. Michigan knocks on the door. There's a minute and 6 left.
Al, Bo Schembecker may not be happy that Butch Woolfolk went out and ran track this spring. But he's got to be happy on that play because he was out of there like a cannon.
You know, I could be real mad with that boy, and he'd be playing from day one.
Right up the middle. All the way down to the 4-yard line. First down, goal to go. Obviously, the field goal would not help the Wolverines. They've got to punch it in. 1 minute and 6 seconds left. And I'll tell you right now, nobody's leaving this one. The parking lot's going to be full. First down, goal to go at the 4.
What do you do now? I guess power straight ahead, and Michigan has had a lot of luck with power, and they got the runners to do it with. You can bank on it. Across the way, I watch as Bo Schembechler is listening. And they're talking and pumping the word into quarterback John Wangler. And Wangler, who is the better passer, not the runner, in the ball game, is going to run the ball club at the 4-yard line.
66 seconds left. First goal to go at the 4 after a 37-yard sprint up the middle by Butch Woolfolk. Wide to the right goes Mitchell. Double tight end. Dunaway right side, Betts left side. Woolfolk is in at tailback. The fullback right now is Gerald Ingram, the sophomore out of Beaver, Pennsylvania.
Wangler is complaining that he cannot hear signals, and now the official goes to the defensive captain of the Irish, Bob Crable, to say to him, now, try to control your crowd in the end zone. And Bob is now waving to the crowd, keep it down, because the quarterback is not going to take the snap. Wrangler's not going to take it. He pulls his team off of the line, he puts them back into a huddle. I've seen this happen, and I'm sure you can remember many times when maybe a half dozen times they've done it.
Where's those beats? Wide to the right goes Mitchell. From the eye, Woolfolk the tailback. Double tight end. Wangler with a long count. Mitchell in motion. Turn around. Get Woolfolk down to about the 2-yard line. And brought to a standing stop there. Michigan quickly calling for a timeout to stop the clock. It continues to run, however, and now stops at 56 seconds. It'll be second down and goal to go. They'll mark the ball down right around the 2-yard line. And Bobby Crable will come to the sideline to talk over defensive strategy with Notre Dame. Wangler over now talking about Schembechler on the far sideline.
Joe Yonto and Coach Devine are down along the 30-yard line right on the fringe of the apron there that they can move to, and they've called Crable, the defensive captain, over. They're going to talk to him. They're going to give him the thoughts on what Michigan is going to try to do, where they're going to attack on the ground. Bank on it, they're going to wrap the ball, their arms around the ball, and try to jam it in. It'd be foolish to do it any other way right now. Second down coming up here, down on the 2-yard line. They need the touchdown to go ahead, and time running out.
Woolfolk, 82 yards, 8 carries, all in the second half. Now, Crable slowly going back to the Notre Dame defensive unit. Michigan quickly out of the huddle. 56 seconds left. Second down, goal to go. Michigan at the Notre Dame 2-yard line. Notre Dame has never beaten Michigan in South Bend. Michigan leads the series 10 games to 3. 5-0 here at Notre Dame Stadium. Waiting for the snap. Wangler has the man in motion. Quick toss right side. Woolfolk. Woolfolk hit by Crable at the 2-yard line and driven back to the 4. He had a bevy of blockers out in front of him. But Crable knifed in and made the tackle on the play along with Jeff Lucan.
Jeff Lucan was the key man there. He hit him low. Crable came in high. And believe me, you have got to hit this Woolfolk. You have got to hit him solid to stop him. Looking down on the field, it looked as though a flag was out there, but it wasn't. Picked up about a half a yard on the play. It'll be third down and goal to go for Michigan with the ball at the 1.5-yard line. Michigan has used its last time out. Notre Dame has 2 remaining. Clock shows 49 seconds. Third down, a yard and a half to go for a touchdown at the Notre Dame yard and a half line. And Michigan with John Wangler on the sideline talking it over once again. What do you do, Tony? You're asking me. I'm calling for the beats. Where are they? You bite your nails if there are any left. What a football game. What a great football game early in the season. Michigan and Notre Dame. Notre Dame is going to call a timeout. They're going to add the pressure now to the Michigan football team. Notre Dame has called for a timeout, and Crable's going to come to the sideline. It was Pat Kramer who came over and asked the official for a timeout. Wangler has now returned to the Michigan huddle. And Crable comes to the sideline in no particular hurry. Well, it's a nail-biter. And Notre Dame, for the most part, in the ball game and out in front 26-21 as a result of 2 turnovers by Michigan.
Johnny Krim intercepting a pass and running 49 yards officially for the touchdown. And then when it looked like Michigan was going to score, Woolfolk fumbled. Duerson recovered, and Notre Dame went upfield and went for the go-ahead score, and they lead it 26-21. Michigan cannot settle for a field goal here. They must score a touchdown. Joe Gramke is coming in now.
And all of it hinges on 49 seconds remaining on that clock.
As Notre Dame pulls one defensive back, Rodzinski, the linebacker, comes out, and Scott Zedek, the defensive end, comes out. Notre Dame opting for more beef here with third down, a yard and a half to go for the touchdown. 5-0, Michigan here against Notre Dame in South Bend. 37-yard run by Woolfolk down to the 4-yard line, set it up. And we're about ready as Wangler returns to the Michigan huddle. The senior from Royal Oak, Michigan. Can he do it? Sends Mitchell out to the right. Double tight end. Dunaway right, Betts on the left. The backs are split. Wangler again asking the referee, I will not take the snap until the crowd quiets down in the end zone.
Ingram is in there, but if I had to hand it all to one ball player, and this is the third down, I'd have to hand it to Butch Woolfolk.
I got to think they'll give it to him, and it's up and over.
Right.
Now, how do you knock down a torpedo? We'll see what happens. Again, it's Mitchell out to the right. The backs again are split. Wangler waiting for the snap. Long count. Has Mitchell in motion now. Turns around. Play action. Looking to throw. Under pressure. Fires. It is in. Was it caught? Touchdown. It was caught. It was deflected and caught by Dunaway. The ball was deflected away, and Dunaway made a leaping catch, kept his feet in the end zone, fell to the turf, and now Michigan has moved out in front, 27-21.
The Irish reacted too slow to the pass. Wangler rolled out to the right, and when they realized they gave him that opportunity to roll right and look for room to throw, they didn't put the pressure on in time. If they'd have got to him, if they'd have got in there to him, it would have been a different story. But they did not get to him in time, and now the scoring has changed again. Michigan takes a 1-point lead with 41 seconds remaining. Tony, this has been a heart stopper.
27-21. 79 yards, 10 plays. Notre Dame, remember, opted to go for the 2. Had they made the 2, they'd have had 28. Now Michigan will try for the 2. Wangler with a man to the right. Play action, looking to throw. Under pressure, lost the ball. It is deflected and knocked down. Pass was knocked down by Tommy Gibbons, so Notre Dame will take the kickoff with 41 seconds showing on the clock, and Michigan leading 27-26.
Don't go away. Don't go away.
Michigan has no timeouts remaining. Notre Dame has 1 timeout left.
As a good carnival pitchman would say, tell you what I'm going to do. Just stay in there because we've got 41 seconds left to go in the Irish. Well, I can remember back in, I'm trying to think now, when we won it in the last minute against South Carolina. Against the University of South Carolina, a touchdown produced in the last minute of play that won the ball game. Wangler has completed 11 of 18 for 98 yards, passing for 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. But the man who has been the backbreaker in this football game is the late-running halfback who didn't get in there until late in the ball game, but has really broken it open, Butch Woolfolk. He has been the difference.
Far side, Ty Barber. Near side, Jimmy Stone. What Notre Dame needs now is a big run backfield position. They've got 41 seconds remaining. Haji Ali Sheikh has it teed up at the 40-yard line. He'll kick with the wind. It is high, it is deep, and Notre Dame will take it out at the 20. That ball almost went into the crowd. So it'll be first down and 10 for Notre Dame. 80 yards to move in 41 seconds.
I know a lot of football players that can't do it.
Blair Keel is in at quarterback, and Notre Dame will probably operate from the shotgun. A lot of pressure on the 6'1", 200-pound freshman from Columbus, Indiana. Keel now moving under center. Now he moves back to the gun, and Notre Dame spreads out the offense. Houlihan, flank to the right. Hunter out to the left. Clock starting to run. Keel back to throw. Looking, throwing long. Trying to get Hunter. Hunter makes the grab. No, he lost the ball. Flag on the play. There's going to be a flag on the play, and Shembeck was on the field. He put up a Hail Mary, and the prayer was answered. Because he got the defensive back to commit himself before Hunter could touch the football. There was contact on the play, and it's going to be first down Notre Dame at the Michigan 48, a 32-yard penalty. Where's those beats? Better send him into Father Joyce next door. 31 seconds to go. Flank to the right is Houlihan. Buchanan is the fullback, Carter is the tailback. Blair Keel, freshman from Columbus, waiting for the snap from John Scully. They move again to the gun. Wide to the left is Hunter. Out to the right is Houlihan. The ball at the 49. Back to Keel from the gun. Looking, throwing to the near side. Houlihan almost intercepted. Oh, coming very close was Jeff Reeves. He stepped right in front of Houlihan, and he was a half a step from a touchdown. He picks it off. He's got 60 yards of clear field.
Right now, he is probably in his own mind blessing himself out because he had that football. It was there. It was on the letters, and he had a piece of it and couldn't hold on.
So now that's going to make it second down and 10 from the 48. Bill Bailey is in at center. 27-26 Michigan. 25 seconds remain. Again, the Irish go to the gun. Hunter wide left. Houlihan out to the right. Split backs looking. Keel fires the ball. Pass is caught. No. Kastek had it and then dropped it. Tried to move upfield with the ball and coughed it up at the 39. 30 seconds on the clock. 3rd and 10 at the Michigan 48. Notre Dame down by 1.
Gergash and Reeves that doubled on him there. They put the pincher on him and squeezed that ball right out of his grasp.
I think I'd go for those prayer passes, all things considered, Al, with time remaining on the clock. One got answered. He'd expect 2 here at Notre Dame.
He's got 20 seconds to do it.
Houlihan flank to the right. They line up in the eye again. Michigan showing a 5-man front. Now Notre Dame moves to the gun. Michigan spreads out the defense. 4 men on the line of scrimmage for the Wolverines. Keel back to throw. Looking, dumps it over the middle. Carter's got it at the 45. In the open field at the 40. Knocked out at the 39-yard line. It won't be a first down. They'll have to stop the clock. They call time. They do, and the clock stops with 9 seconds remaining.
Now the Irish have no timeouts left.
Well, now you got to go to the sideline pattern.
That's right.
Get it close enough for Harry Oliver. Harry O, can he do it?
I wonder if they will go with a play before they try it from the side, before they try to kick.
It'd be a 50-yard field goal against the wind. They've got to go with something that takes about 4 or 5 seconds. I could hear the Notre Damer with 2 coaches on the field talking to a defensive back. Over there, there's two coaches on the field. Now they break it up.
2 Michigan coaches out there and talking with the young defensive player.
9 seconds left. 27-26. Michigan out in front of Notre Dame. 4th down, 1 yard to go for the first down. Well, Notre Dame faced with a couple of situations here. They've got to get the first down. They have only 9 seconds. They have no timeouts remaining. So now what happens? 4th and 1. Talking it over on the sideline. Blair Keel, Coach Dan Devine. Keel now comes back to the sideline. Has more words with Devine.
Michigan knows that he has to. The only thing he can do, he's got to go to a sideline pattern. He's got to put the ball on a sideline pattern so the receiver can get it, get as much yardage as he can, and get out of bounds.
Well, it's miracle time for Notre Dame. 9 seconds to go. Michigan 27, Notre Dame 26. Fourth down, a yard to go for the Irish at the Michigan 39-yard line. Keel waiting for the snap under center. Looks, barks out the count. Long count by Keel. Back to throw. Takes the snap. Has the time. Looking. Throws. Sideline. And it's not going to be on. No, they're going to roll. Is it going to be a catch or not?
It was a catch.
It was a catch. Hunter made the catch. It was hard to tell whether or not that left foot was out of bounds. It was really close, and it is a first down. They use up 5 seconds on the play. First down for Notre Dame. The ball is at the 34-yard line, and this is it. Harry O gets the call.
Oh, my.
Harry Oliver, 5'11", 165 pounds, junior from Cincinnati, Ohio. Left-footed soccer-style kicker. The ball to be spotted down by Cagle at the 41, a 51-yard boot. This is the ball game. The kick is up. It is! Gone! Gone! He made it! A 51-yard field by Harry Oliver, and Notre Dame has won it. 29-27 as time runs out. The ball club is being absolutely inundated by fans. The stands are pouring onto the football field.
There is an injured player down there. The coaches are around him. A 51-yard field goal by Harry Oliver. He kicked it into the wind. I've watched the flags. Just as he got ready to kick, believe it or not, those flags went limp. The wind had shifted. His kick was right there, just there in time. Notre Dame with a miracle win as the clock runs out. 29-27, Notre Dame over Michigan. We'll present the wrap-up of today's game after this for Sears and Lazy Boy chairs.
It's bedlam here on the field with Harry Oliver having kicked a 51-yard field goal to bring Notre Dame to victory 29-27 against Michigan. Here along the sideline with me is the offensive captain of the Irish, number 57 from Huntington, New York, John Scully. John, were you in Houston 2 years ago when Notre Dame beat Houston in the Cotton Bowl? How do you compare this victory with that?
Hey, it's a pretty big parallel. I don't know. I think it's a little different in that we down in Houston, we weren't really in the ball game until the fourth quarter. They were way ahead of us. This was pretty much neck and neck in the second half. This game, I think, as for the first half, we were pretty much in control. I think most of what they got, all their points were pretty much what we gave them in terms of fumbles and interceptions and whatnot.
Well, John, your offensive line played another extremely good football game today. You really had control against Purdue, and actually the offensive line did an exceptionally good job today against Michigan.
Well, we really stalled in the third quarter. We're kind of mad about that because we said this year we're going to be a third quarter team. We're going to have a lot of work to do in the next 2 weeks on our third quarter play.
Well, John, you really should be proud of your teammates. You're a leader of this team. And here comes our coach, Coach Dan Devine, who's hugging and kissing John Scully after another one of Notre Dame's greatest victories. Coach, we just talked about the Houston game, the Cotton Bowl game in Houston. I never thought that you could write a script to equal that one. What are your comments?
Joe, I'm just so proud of our team and our coaching staff. And, it's just very difficult for me to express, the emotions in this game and the ups and downs. And I'm just very thankful to my team and my family. And, the way the kids fought their guts out. And I'm sure that even the people that aren't listening, that aren't Catholic would understand.
I'm sure. You know, Coach, I'm sure that you excited a lot of old-time football fans when you kind of resurrected Wally Butts and Bobby Dodd with the quick kick. Second half, third quarter, third down, you quick kicked, and actually that quick kick led to a touchdown.
Joe, I had to play the percentages. You're a football coach, and it doesn't look like it makes much sense to the fans and people listening, but you got to have faith in your players. And I want to finish my statement. The fans that are listening that don't happen to be of the Catholic faith, that there's our boys feel like Our Lady of Notre Dame.
Coach, it's never you never should feel choked up or ashamed of talking about something that's very close to you, and I know that your faith and the faith of all Notre Dame people are very close to them. Coach, thank you very much. It's a great victory. Coach Devine is very choked up. I'm sure he's emotional. His team delivered a great victory today for him, for Notre Dame, and for themselves. Coach Devine, congratulations and thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe.
The Gillette Company will award $500 to the General Scholarship Fund of Notre Dame University in the name of Harry Oliver for his outstanding play in today's game. Gillette congratulates Harry Oliver. 51-yard field goal as the clock ran out to give Notre Dame a 29-27 come-from-behind victory. Our wrap-up of the game will continue after this. 29-27. Our heart-stopping come-from-behind victory for Notre Dame over Michigan with exactly 3 seconds in the clock running. It ran out as Harry Oliver booted the field goal. In first downs, Michigan led Notre Dame 17-14. In total yardage, Michigan had almost 100 yards more than the Irish. Michigan had 327 total yards, Notre Dame 233. It was broken down with Michigan 218 yards rushing on the ground, 109 yards passing. Notre Dame 126 rushing and 107 passing. Now looking quickly at individual stats, Carter for Notre Dame 103 yards and 30 carries. In passing, Curry completed 6 of 13 for 62 yards. Hunter had 1 completed out of the 1 he threw for 31. Keel completed 2 of 4 for 14. Hunter, meanwhile, caught 3 for 32 yards. Michigan's Woolfolk had 83 yards in 9 carries, 83 yards, which gives him just about a little better than a 9-yard average. Wangler completed 12 of 19 for 99 yards and 3 touchdowns, and we'll have a final rundown on the game after this message. GMC, where trucks are what they're all about. See your nearest GMC truck dealer about buying or leasing a new GMC today. And by Budweiser and your local Budweiser distributors. For all you do, this Bud's for you. The General Motors Acceptance Corporation, the car financing people who uncomplicate things. And by the Muzzler, the aluminized muffler sold only at Sears. By True Value Hardware Stores, more than just a name, it's their way of doing business. And by State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by your American Motors dealer, home of the tough Americans. And by Lazy Boy Contract. Now, Lazy Boy comfort and quality can be yours in the office, too. Thanks to